What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 201, being recorded on March 15th, 2023. I'm your host, Darth Moocher, and I've got Scott Solo here with me.
What is up, my nerds?
Yeah, I've got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hi.
Soon to be joining us will be Ernie the Fallen Fett, coming back from Batu East from his vacation, so he will be joining us very, very, very shortly to get into Star Wars, because we are in full swing of the Mandalorian series. We are coming to the conclusion of the Bad Batch series, and Celebration is right around the corner, so there is some really exciting things coming our way. But before we get into all that good stuff, of course, everybody who's been supporting us on Patreon and in the pit, Scott Solo is going to shout them out right now and get this ball rolling.
Let's do this, everybody. Hey, thank you one and all for tuning in, number one, joining us for this little adventure that we call the Sarlacc Digest podcast. Without you, our lovely patrons, we wouldn't look as great as we do right now with this new flashy dark black star field in the background and that awesome light speed takeoff that we now have.
We had to go to space and take that picture, so that was not cheap.
No, it wasn't.
Just saying.
And just saying, nobody has seen Fanboy Mike in a while. Anyway, so if you wouldn't mind, go to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and donate a couple of bucks a month, and we would be forever grateful. Like these fine fellas here: Matt Logic 44, Eric Grubb, Nicholas Schaefer, Ryan and the Star Joes Podcast, Cliff, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod Podcast on the Red 5 Network, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude Podcast, Don the Dad Dorn, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the All Cure Holy Hour Podcast. He and I were on an adventure today trying to get Cure tickets, and it worked. And I know you guys don't care, but it's okay. Brandon and Anya. Sure. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. Scott
Brandon
got
and
Cure tickets. Gothy guy wore a T-shirt to commemorate. Got it.
Yeah.
I wear the Brandon and Anya Epler, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, and our little lost boy, Fanboy Mike, who's somewhere up there amongst the stars, taking photos for us to utilize.
Yeah.
Fanboy Earth. He just looks Fanboy Earth.
Well, thank you, everybody. Yeah, and if you feel so inclined, the link is in the description below.
You're my hero.
And and all close to that personal service that Scott gets, that's what the Patreon dollars get you to. Tea whenever you want to. But also, our pit is being digested. So, Scott, you got them.
I got this. Yeah. I got this. We've got Matt Logic 44, and they're probably claiming a bingo tonight just because that's his thing. We've got Julianne Fernie joining in. She actually says she needs us. She needs us. Thank you, Julianne.
I need us too.
We're here.
We got Miss Sunflower in there. We've got Santo1414 in. My father-in-law, Don the Dad Dorn. What's up, everybody?
Nice. So let's go ahead and bring in the Fallen Fett. This guy does not stop.
No, I do not. Sorry. I apologize.
He's out of breath.
He's out of breath. I ran from that show to this show.
I ran all the way from that one to this one. Literally.
And he didn't even leave his seat.
You were so right, Chris. Yes.
Oh, man, Ernie.
Awesome.
You were back from your vacation
Yes.
From Batu East, going off-world a little bit. So we're glad to have you back. I know you're on podcast marathon, so I hope you're ready to talk Star Wars, because I know those guys don't ever let you talk Star Wars.
I am. Yeah. It was Cheney's birthday, so there's no Star Wars talk tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, nope.
Happy
I
birthday,
saved it all
Cheney.
for here. Boba Squadron ain't till Monday, so I am good to go. And because of Scott, everybody knew to come on over to here right now. I told them any other shows, go catch the replay, but we're on next.
That's
so
right.
everybody who's popping in and took that bathroom break too, hello, what's up? I'm back. Do you know it sounds like your mic's not on, or is that me, Mooch?
It sounds a little echoey. I thought he's in the toilet.
It sounds really echoey, yeah.
My mic again?
Yeah, it sounds like yours isn't on. Sorry, live
goodness.
Guys. We
Yeah,
might on YouTube, but
that's why we didn't bother him. But yeah, it was like he's taking a shit.
I'm checking.
Oh, it should be on. I don't understand.
Yeah, well, we're just saying.
Sounds like your computer mic is on.
It does sound like a computer mic, but whenever
or the camera mic.
no,
Yeah.
it's-
Oh, the
Oh, here's
computer
the
mic.
camera mic right here.
Or the fanboy mic.
While he figures it out, Scott, how are you?
Yeah, yeah.
What's
Go
going on,
ahead.
man?
Good, good.
guys-
Chris,
Good.
how are you?
Oh, I'm doing groovy. You know me.
Awesome, awesome.
How was Batu East?
We know we didn't even visit it that much. We rode Rise real quick, and that was about it. Because it's smaller, we were out doing other stuff because the kids could experience ours. So like
Right.
it's the same, and I'm like, yes, it's the same, like just different colors. That's about it. And they're like, okay, we got to do that cool ride, and I was like, okay, cool. And we did Rise, and then we were running around with all the other stuff. So I had a great time.
Awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Now I'm trying to be like Chris. I'm trying to work on a supervisor position at work. So everybody,
Oh,
let's
Nice.
manifest
Crossed.
that. Yes,
everybody,
Put it out there. Put it out
Send
there.
out there. That's
I am
right.
trying my hardest, dude. We had our flight pushed back. I did my first interview in New York. I came back early to do the second interview. Marco is trying to do an interview right now, so he kicked himself off. So, yes, I'm trying to be like Chris and be up there and have an awesome year. So
Right
we'll
on.
see.
Well, good
I'm
luck,
sorry,
dude.
Mooch. I just want to let you know. I didn't know if it
No,
was
that's
me
good.
or
I'm
what
trying.
was going on.
I'm trying here. It's my mic is actually picking up.
Yeah,
but
we're just gonna have to deal with it today and roll
Yeah.
through it.
Just let me know if this is any better when
There.
I'm doing these
That's
things.
That right there. Leave
Yes,
it. Leave it.
that's
Leave
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys,
Touching your dials.
I
Yeah.
must have, I must have flicked.
Did you tickle it? Is that
I
what
was
happened?
I was gonna.
He
go
was before, but he
really
was in the wrong spot. Had to go a little higher.
There you go. And now
Yeah.
it's right there.
Now
I
you got it.
appreciate. No, I appreciate it. This is so important for us to get the information out. We got to
I
get
was
it clear.
stalling for time. Yes,
Thank you.
So I just want
Hey, Ernie,
Thank you.
is that a masterpiece Jetfire back there or Skyfire?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
yes,
so
it is.
cool.
Yes, it
Oh.
is. Yeah.
Miss Sunflower wants to give you the fingers
Thank
crossed
you,
there for managerial
Miss
position.
Sunflower. I greatly appreciate that. I do. Thank
That's
you,
all right.
everybody.
That's
I got a
awesome.
great
Yeah.
community.
Hell yeah.
Yes, Scott. I am so okay. Sorry, Marco. I know Marco
No.
hates this. Make sure your mic's good.
Yes.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Look how
That's so cool.
That
That's
is
what she
dope.
said.
Yeah. I haven't
That's
had a
awesome.
chance to play with it yet.
That's what she said too.
I know, but
Oh no,
I
she
can't
never
wait till
says
this
that.
weekend. Look at how huge that is. The largest official
That.
masterpiece. So there's that.
That's awesome,
I
man.
had that come in. Look at this one.
Oh man, he's
Astro
showing off
Train
now.
came in.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And
This is
thank you,
Ernie, though.
patrons.
That's the booth.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody who does the Patreon. Because this wouldn't happen.
Right.
because of you. Okay, and I'll make sure I make Marco happy. Let's do some Star Wars toy news.
Thank you. Thank
There's
you.
the Daimyo Boba Fett. This series
Nice.
is great. I've always loved
that's
this
pretty cool.
series. So this Bandai movie realization, I do recommend it to anybody who's thought about it. Every piece is cool.
That's cool.
So it's just this
Right on.
is this is the new one. So that's what I came back to from. I didn't get anything at Star Wars, but oh my God, Scott, did you see the Tron stuff today?
yes.
They
Yes.
literally
Oh my
a couple
God.
days after.
I'm gonna
I was
go to the
there.
bathroom. Call me back when we're back to Star Wars. Okay? I'm gonna
All
go
right,
back.
all right.
I
No, we're good,
I got-
we're good.
Should I
We're good.
stay?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I
Stay. I'm
Are we
right
gonna talk
now. We're
Tron?
good right now.
If we're talking
No, we're
Tron, I'm good.
No,
Okay,
we're good.
just
We
playing.
can't
No,
talk
we're-
Tron because I don't have money
we're
for
leaving-
Tron, and they did it after.
We're
messing
leaving
with
the
you.
grid. We're leaving the
Yes.
grid right now, and we're going to a galaxy
Yes.
far, far away.
Pay it- attention programs. Okay.
What just happened?
I know.
I'm sorry.
That was an incredible intro, like madness going on.
Thank you, thank you. I
Well,
rolled
Ernie's
2
not
hours
so
off the
upset,
line
man.
to
It's-
here,
this is,
so
you know,
I was gone.
Ernie had to come in and unwind.
I missed our
Let's-
200th episode.
Yes.
You
I
did.
didn't get to say no
I
Star Wars
almost
over
did
there.
too.
So
Yeah.
congrats. Did you really?
Well, I had
Mooch.
technical. My internet decided at 8:00 to stop. It just
Mine
stopped.
did last night. Before my show, I came in, rushed in from work, and everything was off and gone. I had to
Yeah.
reset everything, and I found
Yeah.
out last night ours shut off. So it's because me
Yeah.
and Mooch live way out here, and I
Yeah.
steal off of Mooch's internet. So
Little, you probably do.
That's-
I mean, that's not
yeah.
probably not too far.
And it's
fetched.
bad
No.
enough by itself, much less
Yeah.
splitting it.
A
I'll
little
tell
bit
you
of wind.
for sure I do.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, All right, guys, let me try to right this ship going forward here. Let's get into no, you're good. It's honestly, it's all good catching up because
love it.
I think this is cool. I know the Pit's excited to get into the Bad Batch stuff and the Mando stuff, but let's start with the Bad Batch stuff, right? We only got 4 episodes left or 3? This was
3 after this. I think there's one more. One more, then the double episode.
And then a double episode.
Wow, it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks left. And so ever since the couple episodes ago when we had like the Tantis stuff, and I kind of like I'm enjoying even like today's was kind of a filler. Is it a destination that they'll go eventually get to, right? Like there's something that they set up to where like they might get thrust into something else, but somewhere where they go and grow old and kind of be clones when they retire stuff. So maybe that's the setup.
Maybe later. I saw it more like the Sanctuary in Mandalorian, where they just needed a break for a minute, kind of see what it could be.
Yeah.
Before they went on their real mission and figured it out. The important part about this episode really was the Sid break. Right?
Okay.
And realizing that Fee is not going to be the bad person we thought she would kind of be, right?
I liked her in this one.
Yeah, Fee's 100% on their side. 100%.
I did 180 on her.
Me too.
I'm glad that Sid and them there have a conflict. Like I'm glad that Sid's calling it out and they're like, whatever. Like I don't want them to go back to her. And that mutual agreement,
right.
like, that she's showing her true colors kind of stuff. Like, you got to do me these work or else I'll turn you in. Basically she's holding that over their heads. Right. And I like that they're kind of giving her the finger a little bit, not so much, but, they're all collectively saying like, we're done. And Fee recognized that. And yeah, she grew on me this episode. I liked it. It wasn't,
the episode started off very Temple of Doom. I pretty much expected it to be Club Obi-Wan, There was the exchange of the item. There was some poison involved. There was some under the table shooting. There was somebody jumping under a giant round table, instead of a giant
They just needed a shish kebab skier,
the bell fell and made that sound instead of the gong when it hit. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they used the same sound.
Right.
I mean, because they've done that with
their archives, right? So,
but I was with you on it was so Temple of Doom, and I love it. It was
anytime Fee's in it, that's what it is, right? Fee's their indie, and that's
the whole thing about taking
a little more of
putting it in a museum. It was
correct of what you were saying as far as her character makes us turn a 180. It's like more than that because she actually cared for Omega, but cared for the crew. Like I love the whole call out of the flirting with Tech, Brown Eyes.
Yeah.
You better watch it. That was hilarious. And then did you guys catch? Yes. Yeah. Did you guys catch that she was sitting next to him at the table? And then it was them who was there.
Oh,
no. So she's digging on Tech.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's kind of giving her the side eye too. He's like,
yes,
okay, all right, I love it. I love it.
I love that part.
Hey, Corinne.
Hello,
Corinne. Pug soup.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah.
They all said hi.
To your point there, Ernie. Sorry, raise your hand if Tech needs to strap on a set and get some fee.
That's true. That's true. Sorry, I was drinking.
I gotta feed,
so I really need food.
No problem.
No
problem.
All right.
The whole intro though was action packed from the get go, and I mean, we started off with Bad Batch. We're not doing Bad Batch bingo just yet, but the very first scene we had Ponda Baba in there as a a walrus man in the walrus man outfit from the vintage toys. So it was
the same dude every time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
every time. So
yeah. I was like, okay, they go to this paradise, and then something happens, right? Something happened. I was like, wow, what perfect timing that the Bad Batch are there, and this whole,
3 decades later. But it was kind of cool not to have a bad guy and them just dealing with the situation. And
I thought the Empire came. I thought like this is or a monster, some sort of rampaging monster from was gonna set off something or whatever, but. Yeah, no, it was actually really cool. Omega is growing on me as far as like becoming a better character. Not just running off. Remember, I mean, I know it's a growth thing, like characters we talked about, like Omega always ignoring people and running off and doing almost getting everybody killed and trying to learn these life lessons. And I'm glad that's over with. Oh, supposedly over with. We don't know.
So far, so the last, say, 3 episodes, she's been way better. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can handle Omega. But it was, the thing was, that was such an abrupt change. Maybe just when we look back at it later, it'll be better. Like the Ahsoka change, right? I guess but it just seemed like it took a long time. It felt like.
Ahsoka's change took a couple of seasons. I mean, she was freaking annoying from the first couple of seasons, and it was a progression that got her to where we love her now.
Yeah, see, I remember her being annoying in the movie, and then maybe the first season, and then I was like, all right, cool, we're rolling.
The movie is where, because that's when we were first introduced. I was like, I'm not with
the
this.
burping, farting baby,
Stinky,
Stinky.
It's Stinky. Now that was a total letdown, and then the whole. I know it's the adolescence, I know it's the immature stuff, but it was like season 4, I think, when they did the time jump, or season 3 when they did the time jump, and Ahsoka was actually on her own, doing her own missions, and then the whole, like I said, Clone Wars really solidified it with me. But I think that's what's going to happen with Omega. Also, I think by the end of the season, something's going to, where she's going to have that revelation. If this is going to be their sanctuary for the time period. I think
it is. You don't think so? I think it is.
I kind of get a feeling that there might be a bit of a time shift, a bit of a time jump right here. And I know we always talk about time jumps and all that, but there was that scene where he's like, well, maybe we will stick around for a little while. And the way they kind of walked away from camera, I could expect, the next episode to be, several months later or something. Or maybe
for sure.
Being 3 episodes left, I'm cool with that. And then somehow Sid has to catch up to him, right? Sid with the Empire,
if we get that, the time jump.
Yeah, Sid.
What if we get a time jump if them not even in gear, in clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why they're building stuff. We're going to see this whole place rebuilt, and it's going to give us the passage of time like we get with Navarro, right? And we're going to see them wearing different stuff. The thing's all built up new and neat, and then we're going to be like, okay, well, it's been... And somebody's going to say, okay, the last year, 12 blah, blah, blahs, whatever.
Right.
You
and then that's when we get Moocher's Sid coming in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we'll like Scott Ernie was saying, like if the next episode's coming, they're like they have their own houses, they've rebuilt the bottom half of that island and stuff, then we'll know a time jump happened, and it'd be great that this whole time Sid's been tracking him down, right? That she wants her revenge or something.
I still don't think she's coming after revenge. I think she's threatening them, but I think the Empire will come after her, and then she's not going to hold out, and she'll tell them whatever she knows. But she doesn't know where this. I forgot. Pabu. Where Pabu is. Remember, she never told her, which was also cool, right? So
they
nobody
made a point
knows
of
about.
that.
So unless they go off reservation right there and go somewhere else, they should be safe from the Empire, from Sid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This almost felt like a final move on the Bad Batch's part. Something's going to have to thrust them out of the hiding. And it could be, I don't know.
A message from Rex, a message from Sid. They can all get messages still. So.
Yeah. Something, or Crosshair,
Oh, man. So.
Crosshair message would be like,
Because remember, they're searching for Omega. I forget. They're actively searching for Omega. So they're going to get to Sid.
And the Marauder. The ship.
Yeah, and since that message from Sid could have been a trap to connect what do they say in Phantom Menace? To establish a connection trace?
Right.
Yeah,
send no messages, send no replies.
Replies of any kind.
Right. Or people are dying.
Yeah, same type of thing.
Matt Logic. The time jump also gives the doctor to work on Crosshair. That's true.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, again, I know we haven't. They're not gonna drop it. They're gonna hopefully wrap it up again. I'm getting more excited about the Bad Batch now, of course, on this and last season.
Yeah, because it's almost over and you know something's about to happen.
That's true, and exactly what. But I was also fearful that this series wasn't doing it, because even last season we had the Cad Bane build up and Fennec build up and the whole Camino, and that was like a build up, and then they had the Tantus reveal at the end. And this one just was like, are we just going to just do this side mission thing the whole time? And no, but
you just brought something up too. Last season we had Fennec and we had Cad Bane, and next thing you know, we've got, of course we've had Fennec in live action, but then we had Cad Bane in live action. You think we'll get some live action characters out of this in the?
So going back,
yeah,
I'm kind of like where Chris was with Boba Fett somehow, some way. If they're out, so if the information comes out like Omega is the key to get I forgot her name, who they have in prison, to cooperate. And if she's got the purest essence of Jango Fett, the Empire doesn't know this, but they might say, leave Omega alone, but there is another. There's somebody else you can go after, and it could be Boba Fett. That name could be dropped, meaning she could be protecting Omega and then drop Boba's name.
She wouldn't be important. She's not important to Nala. He's not important to Nala Say the way he was important to Jango. Nala Say is the one that raised Omega.
No, not saying. I'm saying like to protect Omega.
Oh, that you could use a different clone.
Correct. You don't have to mess her up.
Yeah, he's her equal.
He works for them too much. I don't see it happening. I don't know.
But he's still young, right? So I mean,
at this point he is.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
They're not gonna. Okay, they're not gonna drop Omega because they need the cloning. They need something out of her that isn't just a regular clone DNA. There's something about her which is what I fear.
That she's been spliced with other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of hinted at now in The Mandalorian.
We were talking about that.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
true.
like, because they don't want to continue. They don't want to continue the line of clones. They're decommissioning the clones, so that's not the reason they're after her.
Well, this is the Emperor's
Palpatine.
Plan. That's the Emperor's plan. This is his
plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she even Nala Say said, "I know what the Palpatine was going to do with this, and I'm not going to help."
Right.
And whether it's cloning himself to give power, whatever it is, it's.
And it failed. It fails in everybody but her. She got it because the Kaminoans did it. It's gonna fail, and now they're trying to get Dr. Pershing and all them to figure out how to do the same splicing. God damn it, she's gonna be Jedi.
But it's Gideon bringing it back right now, I think, right? Messing with it. I don't think he's with the Emperor yet. I think he's trying to clone. He's trying to splice force powers into himself. And I think that's what's going on.
Yeah,
I think he wants to.
You still think it's Gideon doing it for just him?
For right now, I think Thrawn's going to be I want Thrawn so bad. Everybody knows this, right? I think he's going to be an overlying threat in this whole thing, but I don't think he's running Gideon yet.
I don't think Thrawn's running Gideon. I think Palpatine's
think
running Gideon.
Perhaps
because he said to bring the Empire back to its glory. That's
the
what
way
he
sees it. So if he's a Force user and rules Mandalore. He's got a lot behind him to start up.
That
right?
could be it. Like a almost what an apprentice would be doing, right? Like a Sith apprentice would be formulating around or calculating behind the Emperor's back.
But that's why I'm halfway okay with your. I'm back to your bullshit about her being Force sensitive. Because I think that's the important part. I think they've sliced her up. Like they've put everything together. That's why she has all these attributes we've talked about all season.
Yeah, she can pick up on things so quick.
Whether I liked it or not, didn't. Right, but it's all coming up, and the Force will awaken, and it's been happening, and I've fought it all season, but you're probably right, and she's the key for right now. And Grogu's another one.
Right.
But it could have been Grogu's blood that helped splice into her, too. We don't know how the hell this all happened. It's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But, who was the female?
Right.
Or they just messed with the chromosome, I suppose.
Yeah. Julianne Fernie had a question that she wanted to ask everybody, but she doesn't want anybody to throw things at her. Let's see.
Nobody will throw.
Nope. Timeline from the Empire era to the New Republic era to the First Order. She's confused and needs a quick timeline.
Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens is 30 years, right? So
Return of the Jedi.
What were they called, What were they called, though? I think is what she's saying. So Return of the Jedi's Empire. It's the end of the Empire.
Age of Empire.
The Age of Empire ends right there.
You had Age of Republic that was, of course, the Old Republic to the Clone Wars. Then the Age of Empire.
From Order 66 on.
Yeah, the Clone Wars was 3 years, and then there's, 18
years? It was the regular
Republic.
19 between,
Yeah, 19 between Republic and Empire. 6 years between Return of the Jedi to the Mandalorian era. And 30
Which is the New
years
Republic
from
era. The whole 30
New
years,
Republic era.
Because the New Republic era ended when they Star Killer Base blew up the Hosnian Prime system, and that's where the First Order Day of Reign was.
Yeah, seriously, they had
the
it
day
for a
of
day.
reign of the First Order was
A year, because there was a year between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Is what they're
so
saying.
the year reign of the First Order, but that's when they made their supposedly they made their presence known, and they blew up the New Republic.
What a failure! You know, if you think about it like that, the Empire lasted at least 20 years. You know, and or 24 years or something like 25 years. The First Order lasted a year. How sad is that?
But if you really think about it, though, right? So you have this clone, which we know of now, that was running it. Behind the scenes was the Emperor. So who knows the twist there, right? But technically we did. And then you have the conflicted Kylo Ren, who is Ben Solo, with a lot of conflict. So who chose the light at the very end within this time of him trying to be Mr. Darkseid, right? All that time before. So given it in that year of really trying to make a presence and take was you had a lot of conflict going on that if you think of it that way, it was okay, kind of justifiable, right? Like it's not going to work. It's not going to happen because there was too much against it from the beginning. It wasn't even the Emperor, because then he's trying to not even bring in the First Order. His was called something else.
The Sith Eternal.
There was no
Sith Eternal.
He did, it was just. You know what? I can't even argue that movie. There's really no. I can't. I was gonna start helping it.
I'm saying no. I mean, right? He's not even First Order. He was something else.
Yeah. No.
What happened was,
but Palpatine was running it, so it should have been great, right? Palpatine was in charge of that, and that's where it drives me nuts because he had all these weapons already, and he didn't use them until right.
Well, what happened? Yeah. Well, see, the contingency plan was to build the First Order.
Yeah.
Right. This is what on the surface is what it looks like. The First Order was doing just fine, but Palpatine on Exegol realized there's a dyad in the Force, and then just chose to go that way, which destroyed him and everything else that he built. It's like if he could have
should have just gave Kylo the ships with no strings, not bring anybody on.
Yeah,
let's roll for a minute.
Stayed the course, then it would have been a full reign. But that was his problem, and that's the problem with the writing of the sequels. It was like this abrupt. Oh no, I got this Sith Eternal army here, and I'm gonna make my presence known now because I felt this dyad on the Force. I'm bringing these two together, and all of a sudden I'm alive. I don't need all these things that I've been building for the last 30 years, and it's like whoa.
All right, back to Bad Batch.
Okay, yeah. So anyway,
wow, we're in post Order 66 by about 6 months, and we just jumped to 30 years post Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That was that was awesome.
Hey, Nerd Alert, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us.
Oh man. But I mean, it wasn't a super exciting episode.
No, it wasn't.
But it was important, right? Like I said, it showed their growth. It showed what they can do. It got. I think it was not a bad episode at all. I'm not going to rewatch it a bunch of times. I liked everybody in it.
I love that they threw it out there and put all the answers in our face. We didn't have to question anything.
Yeah.
The whole, she needs to be a little girl. Don't you feel that she needs to be safe? It was not oh, well, didn't you see she was playing with the girl? She doesn't get that chance. It was all thrown out there right in front of us.
Yeah, I love
this is what this needs to be.
I love the clones' responses was, we didn't have that. Why they wouldn't? It wasn't even on their radar of things that she needed. Yeah.
No.
So
remember, as she said many times, that ship was their home.
Yeah.
The ship was her family.
Yeah.
She didn't realize there was all this.
Yeah.
You know, of these people didn't need help on the ones where they kept seeing everybody else needing help. Right. They needed help because of a catastrophe. This wasn't anything to do with the Empire, as all the other episodes were.
For now, because the struggle with the Bad Batch, the whole has been their role and their place after being, soldiers of the they're not soldiers of the Empire, so they're trying to find a place. They haven't joined Echo yet. Like Echo went on to fight for the greater good. This gave them a reason to now this is a place that we actually would fight for. So my thinking is something the Empire is going to come to that somehow, some way. Destroy it or whatever, but that gives the Bad Batch purpose. That will thrust them into the war and say, if we can't find our purpose to fight for something, and they destroyed what we fought for, let's help the galaxy out by offering our skills and whatever.
Yeah. I guess I just hope it doesn't come to that. I don't want this place destroyed. I want to see one place just stay normal, right?
I know,
let it,
right?
let it not be affected. Let it be cool. Let them everybody have a safe place. Let somebody in this universe have a safe place to be besides 30-year-old, once every 30 year tsunamis, right? Besides that, let them be.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason for them to, any way for them to find it unless some kind of trace. Was there ever a bug on the ship?
I don't
Did somebody
think so.
place anything? No. But I wouldn't put it past Sid to do it.
But they asked
by
Sid,
herself.
remember? Do you know where it is? Can you come find us? She didn't know where they were.
So she
I
says.
could be there wherever.
Until it's important to her.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I could see her having a low jack on that thing and be like, I can't help you. I don't know where
my
you're
thing
at.
would be Gonki. I would think Gonki would be the one for her to trace, just like they did.
Gonki.
Because
the one.
Echo has been able to do that and made a point of it.
Uh-huh.
Well,
so
That's a
what
really
if
good point, Ernie.
Because what if even the point is we don't need the ship? They sell off the ship because that's their home, right? What if they think the same thing? But Gonki is a part of their family. That's how she finds.
Omega traced their ship
them.
through Gonki.
Correct.
They've made it.
right.
They've made it a thing. So
They
that's
did.
gonna.
They made it a thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that. That's like we were talking, Chris. That slice of heaven that they found. That's somewhere we can end here. We can live here.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's just Star Wars, not Star Peace. So it's like,
Right.
and
get
it's the
it.
dark times, which is like they can have the notion of there are other places like this that we can't let the Empire destroy. So them seeing it firsthand will go, okay, now we're always looking for them to bring themselves into the war, the Galactic War,
Damn,
right? The
Skywriter.
Whoa!
Gonki must die.
Wow. Go up to Julianne Fernie right above though, and just to
Yes.
clarify, because she asks, but Sid knows where Fee goes for her second home. No, she made it clear there. She tells nobody, not even Sid.
Right.
Again, this
And-
episode said everything.
Yeah, it was. She made that, and somebody said, "Oh, she must really like you if she brought you here."
Correct.
You know, she tells nobody about
Nobody
that
knows.
place.
Right.
It's secret for those people to all have a place to go, and she collects the artifacts of all their home worlds and stuff to keep there, so they have a place to look and not be interfered with. And she does, like I said, she doesn't trust Sid. She doesn't trust anybody.
This episode and Mando really mirrored each other if you look at it.
Yeah, I agree.
They really did, as far as the place and finding a place of safety and redeeming yourself and everything. It was kind of all the same path.
And I
almost.
think, and
It's
the
like
clone
poetry.
talk, and the clone talk inside of I told you before, there's a reason they're crossing over because they don't have to. Right, I was hoping at some point this would happen where we're like talking about two shows and they intertwine.
Right.
And they really are. And these shows are 20 odd years apart, 26 years apart or more, and they're starting to intertwine, and I love that. I absolutely love it. We're talking about clones here and clones here, and I love that clones have just taken over Star Wars by as a side note, right? I much prefer clones always being in part of the trilogies or part of the stories than I do time travel. I love clones. Clones is an awesome
hands down.
Whether you clone Jedis and trick people or have a clone army or do whatever, I'm all in for clones.
Yeah, I wasn't at first because that notion of clones is kind of a cop out, right? Like you know, a thing. But time travel is the biggest cop out.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
I'll take.
Now,
the lesser.
I have to say, I love it every time Chris gets to a point. You know, he's very active, he's very animated, and now he's got a pen in his hand, so it feels like Chris is really actively like working on problems and stuff whenever he's figuring shit out while we're talking. And I love it.
It's the whiteboard.
Oh, I do.
his whiteboard all the time. Yeah,
exactly.
I have notes down here and things pointing to things and telling me where to go and how things connect.
The best part is when you see him go, damn it.
Yeah. Well, we've always talked about that, and Julianne Fernie had a comment about the shows going kind of like all over the place, and what we do is we talk about the stuff to bring it all home and into this main Star Wars story that we're talking about. It's every week we're getting new information, and that does change things or fixes or causes more questions. So it's a really cool thing that we do and what we're involved in as far as Star Wars, right? That's why we're Star Wars fans. The Bad Batch can give us the little bit of segment, and then we could just go off on it, and that's the great thing about the shows. You know, we get all these little bits of information every week, and it's great. I love it.
And just little bits.
They're a little bit. They're not. Yeah, unless it's like I said, it's like the Luke and Grogu moment that we go, okay, let's take a step back and really analyze this, and we'll take 5 weeks to do this. You know what I mean? So,
I'm still analyzing it.
It's enough information to get Chris to do this.
Any information's enough for me to do that. I'm like, how can this get to Thrawn?
Exactly.
And somehow right now today you're gonna realize I'm the one trying to stop it today.
Yeah.
I think he's the logical choice. I'm not thinking he's coming.
Yeah, Miss Sunflower, love it when the shows answer questions and introduces us to a bunch of newer questions. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
That's great because like you were talking about, and we'll get into the kind of the same discussion with the Mandalorian when we get into that segment about this island being the final resting place. It's too perfect, but it's too soon, right? And that's where you kind of like and unless they leave to do something and have that to come back to and something to fight for, that would be interesting. But anyway,
I don't know.
so let's wrap up the Bad Batch with the bingo. Let's do our weekly bingo thing, because I think this one might be interesting to get us. There might be some things in here that will actually get us talking about the episode too. So let's go for it. So everybody on the Patreons, let's get your bingo cards, and it's fun to follow along too.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, grab your Bad Batch bingo card. Grab your daubers or your cover-ups or your pet, whatever. I don't care. Grab it. It's time. All right, we're going to go through all these like we always do. And boy, oh boy, does Tex say how smart he is. Hey, Chris,
right off the bat. Right off the bat
when he's playing games by himself.
Hold on, I'm playing this game that I only have challenge when I'm playing by myself. I'm like, oh, you took time to tell somebody. Yeah,
all right.
Check.
Tech has become my favorite this year.
Tech is awesome. Yeah, Tech is great.
All right, we did have a narrow escape scene. The big wave was a-coming, and
oh,
Omega.
man. Let me tell you something about that. If the ocean washes up a couple feet and you're running in it, I would think you'd like get stuck, like be knee deep, right? Get, like on top of it, no squishing. I know it's a cartoon, but come on. That's a hard run. Okay, move on. Sorry.
You're right. It's not solid.
No. And it went down like 2 feet.
That's true.
All right. Omega shows incredible aim. Yes, she does. She takes out that bell and traps the bad guy in the bar inside the bell.
Oh, dude, I missed it. I'm so glad you're doing this today.
Because it's the intro that we kind of like. It just was fast. Yeah.
Yularen, there was no sign of Yularen, so just ignore that one. Oh, and again, a quick reminder: your center square is automatically covered. So if you have it, whatever it says in your center square, you've got that space covered. That is
right.
How
so
we're
if Yularen is your center square, then you got it.
That's right. All right. Was Wrecker confused? I don't remember seeing Wrecker confused.
No,
he was hungry, and then he was very full.
Hungry. It was great. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no, he just had a happy ass episode, didn't he? He did.
He
Him
did.
and his large buddy were just getting along all day.
He did. He was like, "There's another big guy."
So funny.
A new building or ship that is from old concept art. No, I did not see anything. No. There was no sign of Cody. Wrecker did not hit anything except for that big old plate of food. He hit that pretty hard, but that's all he hit.
He hit that buffet bar pretty good.
He did. Yes, he did. Alien creature attacks. No, we actually had water attack. Well, wait.
Well,
the bad guys. They were aliens.
The little millipedes plus the
There
I would say
you
the
go.
millipedes
The
would
millipede.
be
Alien creature attacks. There we go. Go ahead and check that one off. I'm glad this is a joint venture here. Omega, tell someone what to do. Somewhere in that she had to have. She said grab the line or something.
She did. She said come rescue us.
There you go.
We'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah. But here again, this is changing. She's not doing the reason for that square anymore.
Yes, it's
100%. a complete character change on her.
Yeah, that was a sarcastic Omega tell someone to do. Now it's different.
Yeah.
All right. A sad Omega scene. I don't remember seeing a sad Omega
I don't think she was sad. She's pretty happy this whole, even in danger, but it wasn't like sad. So.
No. Vintage action figure appearance. That's how we kicked off this episode with a walrus man. So that one, definitely check it out. Yeah. Omega didn't listen, did not take up any. No, she listened.
She listened pretty damn good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's starting to make me mad how good she is now. Damn it.
Yeah. He's pretty mad about that.
Like, what kind of character is this? She changed completely.
I get. Yeah.
The crew splits up to buy some time. They don't split up to buy time, but they do split up. Omega goes out and has fun sailing in the ocean, so that's going to count. The crew does split up. No sign of poor Rampart. By this point, he's in a hole somewhere.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Scraps. Did they mention they were in debt?
No.
I don't think so, because they're no longer in debt.
They just told Sid to shove it. That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, wait, but she tells them. Does she?
She
She
just
kind of
says
says, "Don't
our
forget
our
that
mutual,
mutual agreement. Isn't that debt?
I mean,
Kind of like you owe me, I owe you."
Yeah, I would think, right? I mean,
I would kind of give that on a technicality, just trying to get a bingo.
All right. So sure, we'll go with mentions that they're in debt for that extra chance.
I'm a softie.
There were no shots. There were no shots on stun. It was all kill. There was no sign of Tarkin. Hunter just seemed pleasant. He seemed pretty serene, but he didn't smile when he should be upset. So that's all good. Omega didn't really outsmart anybody. She seemed to know exactly what to do when she needed to do it, but didn't outsmart anyone. There was no sign of Rex. I'm going to say that Sid clowned every member of the Bad Batch by
just by showing up.
That one definitely counts.
Just by showing up.
Don't forget,
mission always goes bad.
Yeah, the mission goes bad, right? Because big old tidal wave. Crosshair was not in it, and neither was Palpatine. So there are our bingos.
Damn.
Our bingo squares. So Tech says how smart he is. Narrow escape scene. Omega shows incredible aim. Alien creature attacks. Omega tells somebody what to do. Vintage action figure appearance. Crew splits up. Mentions that they are in debt. Let me see. Sid clowns a Bad Batch member, and the mission goes bad. So that is the recap.
Nice.
There we go, folks.
Nice. At least we have this. Even if the episode is dull, at least we have the bingo.
Yeah.
That's right. And so far,
we're good.
I don't think it's going to stay dull. I think it's going to get more exciting because next episode is called The Tipping Point. And it's,
there we go. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Happen.
We've been waiting for it.
Tipping point should be somewhere around the middle, a little bit extra over, not all the way at the damn end.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no picture. I have a leg cramp and I'm running around my room right now.
Oh, gotcha. All right, no problem.
Hey, I ran 2 days ago and it hasn't stopped hurting.
Hang on a second. Don the Dad Dorn has spoken up. He said that Wrecker did hit something.
What?
What did he hit? You can't just leave us hanging, Dad. You got to tell us what he hit. I don't remember him hitting anything except a big plate of what looked like
maybe
sushi.
At the beginning.
Maybe the big guy on his shoulder.
That's right. He did. It was during the fight scene in the beginning. Wrecker did hit something. So there you go. There's another one brought to you by Don the Dad Dorn.
Very good.
So go ahead and mark off that and hopefully somebody gets bingo. That's right.
All right. Well, as you can see, our overlay changed because, in my opinion, and I've been hearing some little conflicting things out there, and about the Mandalorian not being as exciting or energetic as the last. I look at it a little bit. I'm enthralled. I'm watching it from beginning to end, and I'm enthralled on every, just like I was with Andor. And I'm not going to compare this particular episode to Andor because it was very Andor-esque.
Andor, Jedi Fallen Order, and Solo. All into one.
But I mean, even if there's a lot of like in cameos and explosions going on, this it still works for me, right? So, and this episode was no different, man. That we had two. It was called The Convert, okay?
Yes.
And we had two parallel stories going on. We had the kind of conclusion of them escaping the Mandalore and the mythosaur on the bottom and Din waking up and they left that thing. But the most important thing out of that scene right there is that Bo saw the mythosaur. Din did not see it, and she asked him, "Did you see anything alive down there?" And he was like, "No, I'm just like."
He said, "What do you mean alive? Like, what the hell would be alive down there, right?"
Yeah. And she just said, kind of like, okay, well, I'm just checking, almost like that attitude of like, with so I'm gonna kind of like go into this. Right away, the first thing I noticed is that when she rescued him and everything, they got off and they left, she did not take off her helmet. That was
Nope,
the first.
Not at all.
I was just kind of like, okay, maybe she, like Chris was talking and we do this chat, like, she's becoming a believer in the old ways. She's becoming a.
She's drinking the juice, man. She's starting to. She just came up from the bottom of this and saw a mythosaur. Right. And they explained too that didn't usually go that deep. That was the bombing of the Empire that broke this all open and woke this thing up. Right. So that was really cool.
That was cool. Too. Yeah.
I think,
but it's those prophecies that are starting to fulfill themselves right in front of her face. You know?
Right. So you bring Mando in, right? You bring Din in. All of a sudden, he's got the Darksaber. He proves that Mandalore is not poisoned. You see the mythosaur. She's sitting there like, was that? In my opinion, there's a scene where she's just looking at the water, right? She's not planning. She's like, what the F was that? Did I just see a mythosaur? What is going on right now? It's everything that I've been
the old tales are all true
for my whole life, you know. And I've been making fun of this guy and all these people and all this stuff. Is it true? Is this? Am I? I just saw a freaking mythosaur. So I don't think this is anything that I know we're going to go back and forth on it, but I don't think she's doing anything nefarious this whole episode. I think it's her kind of digesting it, absorbing it, trying to figure it all out, and maybe convert. But I think the episode worked like you said because there's two storylines and they're both doing the same kind of thing, so it's neat. But,
I had her wrong from the get-go. I really did think that she was going to be the main antagonist of the season, and she's proving otherwise. So I think she's I think you're right. I think she's drinking the juice. I think she's
I think she's seeing it unite. She can see this unite her people. She's been talking about her people being split and fighting for no reason.
Okay, so the unite is the key. She started last week's episode about mocking the traditions, mocking the Mandalorian stuff, but also it's like, I was raised here. I was raised as a, of royalty and all these things. And then she read the plaque to him, like very passive aggressive, very sarcastic.
Yeah.
And Din is like, I haven't seen any of this and I'm a believer. Now she's seeing the proofs. And I kind of get to that point. And her being disenfranchised at the beginning of the series, kind of like giving up, like just wave that thing around, they'll follow you, because they're just all stories. Everything is all bull crap and it's all whatever. So as I'm in the mind frame of that aspect of it, like Bo could be still her goal of being the leader or joining and becoming, a true believer of the Mandalorian creed and all that stuff, does hold water. The only thing that's like, to me, the Mandalore, like the armor and Din and Pad, they don't lie to each other. They don't hold any secrets. Din is very, very honest with everything and everybody he comes in contact with.
Yeah.
And Bo not telling him about that and stuff always just keeps it in the back of my mind. Like, she's holding information for a reason. Either she wants to see how it plays out and then she'll come clean, or it's gonna be for a different reason, meaning like Bo can do a 180 on the whole clan, and she's the only one that knows that the mythosaur is, and why the mythosaur is so important is because it's what gave Mandalorians their identity and their
the first Mandalore, right? The first Mandalore tamed and rode the mythosaur. Quill talked about it in the first episode.
Yeah.
It's the symbol of the planet. It's a symbol on Ernie's forearm, my arm. It's on nerds across the everywhere. Now we know where it came from and why it's there, and
Dude, I loved it so much. It sucked. I had to watch in the hotel room. And then I'm like screaming at the TV, and I'm just like holding it because this is like now official, right, Chris? Like we were getting it official.
Official.
When she says it, and then we cut to this scene now, she saw it, she gasped, he was knocked out. Right. Obviously, it had to have pulled him under. So there's that in my head too of why did it grab him and let him go?
Oh, see, I don't see it grabbed him.
I don't see it either.
Fell.
See, there's a lot of people who were on that. I think it grabbed him. I don't think it was.
I thought so too, but
see, and he did last week
too. He was knocked out.
I just think he's so heavy, and it just took him all the way down, the pressure and everything. I just think it just knocked him out.
But he's not heavy.
Why? Why is it not heavy?
Because the armor isn't that heavy.
If you walk in a jumpsuit, dude, without any armor, it's going to get heavy when it gets wet. right? I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
can't
still, though,
swim
this
in a
is what
three-piece
they
suit.
do for their thing. It knocked him out, though. He had no idea.
He only supposed to
had
walk
come
in it.
to.
It's not supposed to be deep. He's supposed to be
So
able to walk in it.
when that, like,
Right.
you have a jetpack that you can fly out on. You
He
have.
took it off.
He took it
It's
off.
not that. No, I'm saying.
Yeah. Right.
already
right,
to
right.
say that you're that heavy. This little jetpack takes you. That's the whole thing about the armor.
Yeah.
So
Is that it's
the only
supposed
thing
to be that way.
I can think about is like, you know, didn't even say, because he never said something pulled me in. He goes, I went in and I fell, and she said
Yeah.
you kind of like, I don't know if I remember the dialogue directly, but I thought it was like you took.
I
it was
think
not
he
supposed
get
to be.
pulled.
It wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
be deep. It
And
was
then
supposed
he
to be a
was-
shallow thing.
Well, yeah, but he was
Yeah.
knocked out because she said, "Do you remember anything?" So
Yeah.
my thing into that though is that then when she doesn't say it, like you were saying, does she believe like she imagined it or
Oh no.
No,
or what?
it's
She
like
just
Miss Sunflower
doesn't
here.
want to talk about it.
This is where I'm at with Bo.
You think she's going to turn?
She's playing the long game. Well, I don't know about turning. I just think that she might be thinking like this is how it's playing. And the events that followed later on, I think was unexpected to her. Like when they came and basically said that you're children of the Watch now. I think that was unexpected. I don't think she expected that. But I do believe like at some way, and she went to go save Din because Din, if he was in danger, that means the Darksaber would be gone forever, kind of deal. Like if Din went in there and got lost, the Darksaber would be lost forever.
He left it up top.
Yeah.
No.
dropped
everything
No,
off.
I'm talking last week's. If she didn't go
me
after
too.
him in the first
No,
place.
me too.
Yeah,
she
he
dropped
took everything off.
Put it down.
No, if she didn't go.
Oh, her
rescue
planet.
him.
Oh, her planet. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
Oh.
Like when Grogu said, "Hey,
Yeah.
here,"
Yeah. That
you know.
makes sense. Yeah.
I just saying like I think Bo's playing along. She's not stupid. She had a vision, and Din kind of ruined that vision for her.
But
so
then
did
she,
Gideon. and then,
yeah.
I mean,
I
it
don't
could
know.
be
At the
both
end
ways.
of it, where she goes in there, when you walk into a place like that, and you know everybody wants to kick your ass. That was crazy too, right? I mean,
Well,
she did.
and then accept
all
her,
those people,
and that's where
yeah.
it's unexpected. You know,
I wanted so much for her in the armor because I'm taking it as the armor is going to be the bad guy.
that's where I was at.
I'm
I'm
at
still
Paz.
right
I'm at
there.
Paz Vizsla. I don't trust.
He
Paz
did not
Vizsla as
congratulate
far as, like,
Paz,
anybody, right?
Paz is a
Correct.
bad guy for sure.
Yeah.
Paz
So-
is something, and we know their house
And his kid.
fight. So yeah, that's.
So
you
I
think
wanted
that's his
to.
kid?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
my
Hey,
other
real
theory
quick,
is
before-
that's baby Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, roll up a little bit just so before we touch this real quick and before we
That
get
logic?
too far. No, Miss Sunflower about the Grogu and Bo. It was right above where you pulled her. Okay, so we talked about this last week. I don't think it's gonna be Bo with Grogu at all. It's gonna be Din. That they're the clan of two.
Well,
they've
that's
been setting this up since day one with Din dealing with different creatures and Grogu taming them.
Taming
Right?
all of them, even the
He's
Rancor.
he's been riding a bunch and killing a bunch, and then he's been taming them. So that's what's going to happen with this mythosaur. Somehow it's going to be Din and Grogu,
Sure.
both of them, to bring it
But
down.
again,
just-
and then the
and
opposite
tame
of
it.
that is Bo. Bo is going to take Grogu. Like, it's that whole thing. Like, she wants it for herself, so she's going to use Grogu to tame the myth. I mean, I think that's where,
She's taking a knee, dude. I'm telling you.
I think that's where Miss Sunflower is going, though, with that
yeah.
comment.
She's taking a knee.
Suddenly, I want to see Din on the Mythosaur standing next to Boba on the Rancor, and I don't know, maybe Grogu on an EOP or something.
Right.
You know, all of them just
On a
right-
blur.
The
on a
Rancor,
blur,
but they can ride each other though. The Rancor can be on top of the mythosaur.
Freaking nesting dolls.
Right. It's just
Well,
like
see, I was going to
unbelievable
say, all you
bullshit.
guys are wrong because you just keep saying Bo and you're not finishing it. Boba is the
He's
one
not-
to take
He'll be here
over
by the
everything.
end. He'll be.
Yes.
You guys realize we've seen crate dragons. we've
Yeah.
seen the Sarlacc way up close and inside.
Yes.
And now we've seen a freaking mythosaur. What a wild show this
And
is.
a Rancor rampage. I mean,
Rancor,
dude,
Boa riding a Rancor. Get
it's
out of
freaking
town.
awesome. Yeah. Matt Logic has a comment before we get too far. Is it possible the water makes Beskar heavy? Now, I thought so. I not that like make it heavy.
Yeah, it's because it's already either heavy or not. It's not going to absorb water, but his suit does, and the pieces
Yeah.
get stuck inside. I just think it just weighed him down. That's
You know
all.
what? I'm going to need Scott Vader to make me some armor, and we'll jump in a pool, and we'll test this out, and we'll see. Scott already knows he can fit in the Boba one.
Yeah,
I'll have
I
Scott-
actually have that now. So yeah.
See, okay, there we go. So I'll have Scott Vader make me some, and then we'll jump in and see who sinks the fastest. Like, what happens with our armor
I like-
on.
I like this. The nerd alert saying, is the mythosaur a
Oh.
possible target for cloning once discovered?
Gross. Oh no.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Gross is oh man, we had to theorize this now. So
So-
now we're
yeah.
gonna be able to have a mythosaur and a Zillow beast running loose in season 4.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
With a rancor.
I want to. This
Don't
is
forget
actually
Rancor.
Rancors are
interesting.
so small now.
Chris, you brought up all the other creatures on what we
a house pet.
exactly. Maybe the mythosaur already imprinted with Bo when it saw her.
Oh my god!
We don't know that, and that's what the shock was. That you saw her
Or
because she
you-
was
Right.
feeling it.
You can't imprint unless you take your mask off.
She saw through the visor. It was underwater.
What
But in
if that's
another
how it?
podcast-
That's how Grogu imprints. He's the only one without a helmet.
By the way, Grogu definitely spoke this one. It was
Yes, he
hilarious.
did.
He
Oh
said
well, he
something.
tried.
But that's what I want to see. This is exactly what
Yeah.
I want. Exactly. But
So that's not
we'll get to-
communicating in a different way. He's trying to speak. And the
Yeah,
great
I
thing
know.
there was when they that was part of that whole "this is the way" thing. They're starting to do a lot better. Like Bo is really saying it, like not sarcastically.
No,
this is the way. This since the dad talk, since her dad when he said "this is the way" when he died for the planet. Since then she's completely spoke different to him.
Yes.
But
yes.
anyway, yeah, this
No,
is the
that-
way talking. Him grumbling is coming. any minute.
and everybody's out there like,
Yeah, the looks. This whole episode had great looks.
So
like,
that's what
like office looks.
yeah, and that's what I loved. Like that's where I want Grogu to stay for now, right? I mean, eventually, like I said, when he's a middle-aged, that's when I want. Like that's when I'll be comfortable to see something like his species talk and stuff. But that I thought that was very cool. That very
Yeah.
very funny. Going into the whole like them leaving the planet and everything. Oh god, help me out with the timeline here because
Oh, sorry, where are we
this,
at? Okay.
this episode is just like
So here we go. Let's go
Use
back
the
into
marker.
it. Dogfight's coming. Here we go.
yeah. So
Dogfight. Horrible. Okay,
I-
by the way, screenshots are half impossible to do
yeah, I know, right?
on that,
You
right?
just-
But the
you just have to
dogfight,
watch
the
it.
dogfights in Mandalorian are top freaking notch, dude.
Yeah.
This season, killing.
Yeah, no, this was like this was one of those things when this episode was going off and they left the cave. I was kind of like, aw, like unresolved, right? Kind of a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Because we talked about like this whole moment, but that will come. I don't
Yeah.
think it's the last of the mythosaur.
No,
but
dude.
but this is where it was like I was kind of like on the edge of my seat watching this whole thing go down, where they were trying to leave the planet, or they left Mandalore, and then they all got confronted by TIE interceptors and got chased to her homeworld. What's it?
Calabara.
Thank you. But the
Kalabala.
sequence, the sequence of this was very, very edited. Awesome. Like, that's the bad English there. It was edited very, very well and Star Warsy. Meaning
Yeah.
there was 4 of them chasing them. They killed the 4. They come into contact with bombers who destroyed them. Bo's house, and then
I love the
speeding
smart
over,
ass remark.
And then,
The smart ass remark was great too.
Which one?
yes. Go for it.
If you steal their ships, now you.
Oh
tell me.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was so subtle and so quick in there. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
And then the bombers, they're going after the bombers, and then all the blips. It was like an alien movie, like in Aliens, right?
Yeah.
It was just funny. It was just such a cool sequence after the dogfighting scene.
Yeah.
That was
Be-
very intense,
which
and
was
Top
neat,
Gun-ish.
Because
Right.
last week he was able to handle all those different ships, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, these 2 are easily going to handle these, and it just kept getting more and more and more. It's like, okay, there's too many, and
Right,
both
right.
these guys can handle themselves.
Yeah.
Where were they
Yeah.
coming from though, and who sent them?
We're gonna
That's
get
Grand
there
Admiral
right. We're
Yeah.
gonna get there just a sec because the
But
chat is.
this scene up right now, this scene we have up on the screen is one of my favorite things
So,
during Bo's move
Our
here.
5, we love our droids, right? That
Yeah.
should be a great T-shirt, and Disney should really catch on to that. It's like we love our droids and give us more droids everywhere. R5 in this one where he's this is comedy in Star Wars how it's perfection. When he falls over because she goes out, like speeds away, and then he stands up back up and then falls back over again.
Right.
beeping and stuff. Like Grogu just stares at him, kind of like, "Hey, you're not used to this kind of deal, right?" So
yeah, like we see R2 and 3PO, and once in a while they'll get some turbulence, right, and have to move around. But you never see them floating in the air or doing things. Like they've got a little bit of experience. R5 has no clue what he's doing up there.
He's so great, dude.
Right.
I mean, it was so well.
Has he even ever left Tatooine?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, that was his first bath since A New Hope. Look,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
his thing is off, and it was there.
Yes.
Come on, now that's messed up.
I know.
He's
You know what I loved about
It's
it
been
too
years.
is that Grogu always feels safe when his dad is there, and as soon as he left, he closed the thing.
Yeah,
Like, I don't trust you, bitch. I don't
Yeah.
know who you are.
Exactly.
For real. You're not my babysitter. I love that.
Right.
Do you notice that like all the time? As soon as he's not there, he'll like close
Right.
it up and everything. That was
So
cool.
I'm gonna so the chat is pretty much where Chris I think Chris and Scott was in our little private chats when we talk about these Star Wars 24/7. So you guys go ahead and take it away. The swarm of TIE interceptors. You guys go and take it away because the chat's on your
Well,
page.
the thing was right is that this is too many ships for a
Warlord.
for a warlord.
Yeah.
And that sends you off, right? Gideon's a warlord, so that's too many ships for Gideon. They're hitting something, right? If it wasn't Star Wars, I wouldn't have read anything into it. But
Exactly. Isn't Gideon still in custody? There was a
We'll get
mention
there.
that he may have
So-
escaped.
There was a
so the talk was
jokingly
it was
rumor,
50-50.
no. The rumor is I think that's
Rumor.
the truth. The rumor is he got away, right on his way. But the rumor they said it was a cover up because really they mind flayed him.
Right.
They're not going to mind flay Gideon, so he got
No.
away.
There better
That-
not
that's
be
what
this
I'm-
thing. Somehow Gideon escaped. There better not be that. We
It'll
better
be a
go
quick
back.
scene. We'll see a quick scene.
That's fine. I do not just have him appear and do the Inquisitor thing.
I took
and
it
the
as they
whole-
found
you know what
out
I
that
mean?
she was a part of Gideon's ship that they wanted to change the subject. Like, don't talk
Oh.
about it. When they said, didn't he get away? And then it was like, I don't know. I heard.
maybe.
Oh.
But
You know
we'll,
what
we'll
I'm
get there.
saying?
We'll get
Because nobody
Yeah.
knew she was a
Yeah.
part of that. Remember when he said that? Nobody
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
right.
That's
right.
true.
So I don't know. But you guys are thinking who then? If it's not Gideon.
Well, I mean, the minute they said there was too many for a warlord, my mind went, "Oh, Chris is going to be crapping his pants right now."
Yeah.
Chris is jumping up, going, "That's right."
Wait,
That's
did
right.
they
Here it
say
comes."
that? Did they say that in the show? There's
Yeah.
too many. Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Bo-
missed the
Bo-
dialogue. there.
Bo said that. And then so I start thinking I'm doing the same thing and I'm ready to jump Scott. I am, but I'm like, no, it's too soon. Right? I'm like,
think
it's
so?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
Yeah.
I'm
This might be
taming.
the start of it.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm taming my expectations now because I fully expect not to hear
Yeah,
a
you're
thing
right.
about Thrawn until Celebration. I expect them to say that at Celebration. So maybe hinting towards it, we'll find out later. Kind of like when Boba Fett walked in on Fennec in the beginning of season 1, and we didn't really know until the next season. Maybe something like that with Thrawn. I'm ready. I'm
to see
freaking
if
ready.
who it was.
Well, these
But
could
I-
be the
But I think
beginnings
this
of that.
is.
Yeah.
I think this is a group of different remnants together that help break him out, and they're working together right now.
Okay.
Eventually,
So-
I think I'm in my head. I'm really on Gideon by himself because he's Mandalorian driven. Thrawn's not going to be Mandalorian driven. But and when he said this one person for personal gain, I wasn't thinking like when Pershing was talking about it. I wasn't thinking of the Emperor. I was thinking of Gideon and Gideon trying to make himself more powerful. That he
Yeah,
wants everybody
that's-
to work
yeah.
under him, and he wants to splice the Force into himself while ruling Mandalore with the Darksaber, so he can be another Mandalore the Great. That's where I think. And he has his remnants, then he has the whole planet of Mandalore, and then he's kind of building the Empire back up that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he could be doing all under the name of the Empire.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
all
how I
under the
see
name
it.
of the Emperor to present himself to he
The
could be
new,
doing it to
Empire. He has
No,
nothing to
listen.
do with the Emperor. Thrawn knows the Emperor.
No. He
Gideon
could be
won't.
doing this to present himself to the Emperor that he knows that is his essence is alive or becoming or whatever has been worked on. To present himself as like, you know, I want to be your right hand man too, and then Thrawn is also maybe is the right hand man at this time, and that's where they might have a conflict to it. Maybe not for his selfish reasons, but for the greater good of the Empire. I just have this
But
thing in my head that Gideon is a true Imperial.
But we do
not-
know that I agree. I agree with Marco because
Using
we do-
Mandalore is
We do know that Gideon was utilizing the facilities on Navarro. And Navarro were cloning facilities. They were using Dr. Pershing there for his splicing technology, and we saw what looked like little remnants of Snoke
yes.
inside
true.
those cloning tubes. And we know that
Yeah.
Snoke was
And that's
essentially
where-
the Emperor.
and that's the only reason why, Chris, is that I have this thing where Gideon could be using all these powerful tools and trying to gain all these other and using them and has this like, no one's looking at the Mandalorians. I am. No other warlord, no other ally of Palpatine or anybody's looking at this. I am. He can even go like, even Thrawn is building a fleet and doing all these things, but I'm doing something where I can command an army, not build an army. You know what I mean?
Miss
the
Sunflower.
purpose of them.
Yeah, Miss Sunflower says, "Do we know if Snoke is already alive during this timeline? Could it be him?"
He's alive.
I'm waiting for something about Snoke.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know if he's alive or not.
When she asks, when he says, "Who could this be?" though, and it's there, and she says, "Well, I've what did she say? I've stole from a lot of
right. Like they could be tracking me down, right? No.
But if you really think about your Thrawn theory, it does work because she's the one who sent him to Ahsoka. I know a Jedi. So they were working together doing something. And Ahsoka's big presentation for that episode was, where is Thrawn? Where is your master?
She knew exactly where Ahsoka was going to be.
Wasn't that lady a part of the Empire for building fleets?
Yes. She was, and then and those also, see, that's the only time, those folks are the only time you see the 7th Fleet logo. See, I would think somewhere along the line, I would see the 7th Fleet logo on a ship, on a TIE fighter, on a trooper, or something, or an officer. What's up?
This is the first time we've seen a TIE fighter all season. These could be from the 7th, that fleet. They could be from the 7th Fleet.
Like I said, this could be the like what you guys were talking about, like, this actually could be like the sneak peek of something grander and bigger following. This could be like that swarm of TIE fighters. Maybe we didn't see the Star Destroyers out in the distance, or maybe they were.
Oh,
there.
It has to be up there.
Yeah.
The TIE fighters won't get that far into space on their own.
So they came from something.
We've been theorizing for forever now that this is all leading to the original adaptation of the original Thrawn trilogy. Yep. So all of these shows are laying those little nuggets for us. We've got Mount Tantus in the Bad Batch. We've got Dr. Pershing talking about splicing DNA and cloning, and we've got Grogu. We've got all of this happening. We got Grogu here. We've got for an adaptation. It just kind of makes sense that it would be leading to this moment where Thrawn makes his appearance.
No, it's coming up soon. It is 100%. All these shows are linking. They're all going to lead to Thrawn, just what we talked about, right? They've got it all built up, and it is perfect to adapt. We won't have to go through it all, but whatever Jedi they end up cloning will be the one working for Thrawn. That's the thing. They're going to end up making one work. I hope it's Mace Windu. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be Ray Stevenson's character. When it comes out in a later episode in Ahsoka, right? But that's what's going to happen. I just can't wait. So it's setting it up. Cool, it's just hard how I see the Gideon things. Gideon to me feels like a really cool character. Yeah. I don't want him working for Thrawn necessarily. I kind of want him to have conflict, right? I don't want him to be working for this, or the Emperor. I just want.
You want his third, like I was always talking about him going off on his own, like hey. I'm going to rebuild the Empire to its glory, but me at the head.
I want him to feel like a threat, and him and the other warlords to feel like a threat, and then the 7th Fleet shows up. And then you realize, all of you together are no threat. So you'll all bow down right now, or we'll destroy you, and you're with us, and we're taking Mandalore. Because Thrawn, I could see Thrawn taking out Gideon and taking the Darksaber if he ever got it back.
Something, Chris, that show went. If the show ever, I would flip out, dude. Like I really would.
That would be awesome.
Because I've always said this from back in our sequel talk about Rise of Resistance or Rise of Resistance, the Rise of Skywalker, right? The movies. I was talking like would be cool of a third faction being involved, and you have like three-way battle. Of act like you have the Emperor's or the I wouldn't even think of the Emperor at the time. I was talking like the Sith Empire versus the First Order versus the New Republic, and the Sith Order mean like it's the whole threat. If they came to power, that would be it, and it was detrimental for them to be stopped. So there would be like this three-way thing. So I like the fact like if I like where your head's going on that, going like if Gideon is building this huge Imperial remnants. Using Mandalorian and Mandalores as an army he could command, plus his remnants. building on the side nobody knows about, and he's just kind of taking command because there's a power vacuum.
Yeah.
And then Thrawn is doing
Look.
the Emperor's deed.
Look, you saw Gideon's command ship, right? It was a little destroyer.
Yeah.
You want to have that as the main ship on this fleet and it feel like a big threat. In the last episode, the Chimera shows up with a couple Star Destroyers behind it.
Yeah.
Forget it. And that's where you're like, oh, we've just been messing around with Gideon. This has been a game.
Yes, that too. Yeah, no, that would be because even in the books after Return of the Jedi, wasn't that was the whole thing about the Imperial fleet was still a threat and a thing. It wasn't. So
they were building. They were building up with the dreadnoughts with the Dark Force.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They always mention the Imperial fleet, which was massive, like this thing that the Emperor is very much alive. Let's see that. We're that close. This close, we could still see this. And like I said, unless the Battle of Jakku has already happened, and then you have that kind of like nothingness.
Yeah.
10, 15 years of nothingness, no threats. That's why New Republic doesn't have an army and blah, 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 all that stuff. So I don't know, Chris. Well, Mustafa Farson, what if Gideon is part of the Seventh Fleet? You don't want
that's
him
the thing
working
is
for him.
we've kind of done that going back and forth on theories, and does he work for Thrawn? He's kind of almost the same character, so it's really hard, right? He could be a protege because he knows everything. He thinks that way. I would think, though, in this point, since we've seen it on the droids, I would think on his pauldron, you would see the Seventh Fleet stylized Chimera, right? The round one.
Yeah.
I also think a Moff still outranks a Grand Admiral, because if a Moff can outrank the Dark Lord of the Sith and start ordering around, Darth Vader, a Moff could outrank a Grand Admiral.
But that was Grand Moff.
That's true.
Did he make that up himself?
Tarkin was the Tarkin. Yeah, that's the other part, right? So Tarkin was the only Grand Moff, and then there's only like 7 Grand Admirals, I think, right?
Right, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Moff Gideon,
and Moff would be probably
Grand Moff. Yeah.
Like, I think Gideon. We talked about that before too. I think Gideon named himself. A lot of them after the Empire, the warlords started ranking themselves up, and not that Gideon wasn't worth it. I mean, he was the ISB guy on the.
Someone had to take charge.
The Siege of Mandalore, but that doesn't put you up to Admiral or Moff or anything.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be a great scene if Gideon comes face to face with Thrawn and Thrawn just looks at him and says, "Lieutenant Gideon."
I'm off now on whose authority?
Exactly.
Oh my god, dude! Great. But that's great because I think they make Gideon look really cool. I think Gideon's a cool character. If you can make him get dwarfed, that's how you make the next villain cool. If you can make Thrawn come in and make Gideon look stupid, and make Gideon look small and Gideon scared, and that's what we need.
And Gideon called Grief Karg out for that same point that Scott just made. You called yourself the magistrate, or you said, the failed magistrate, but now he titled himself the Grand Magistrate, right?
The High Magistrate, the high magistrate. Whatever. Yeah.
So I mean, basically
making their own stuff. Yeah.
So to the points of what you guys are saying is Dave Brittany saying Dave Filoni went to the George Lucas School. There's always a bigger fish. So the bad guys build from the German documentary, on Guy Navarro to Gideon to Thrawn to Snoke to Palpatine again.
Right.
I think it's one of those things where the Emperor is supposed to be a secret, and it's supposed to be like somehow he returned, right? That has to be an important thing. He can't be in the shadow. We want him in the shadows. That's our biggest complaint about a lot of things. Was like he should have been in the forefront in the shadows the whole time, but that line about somehow Palpatine returned tells me, and I'm just going through lore and canon, tells me that everything that they've dealt with to that point has been remnants or Thrawn or Gideon, right? But not the Emperor. And he should still be, to that point, he should be in the shadows. We don't want him.
He'll be a secret until Rise of Skywalker. Nobody will really talk about him. Very few people will know. I really don't want to think Gideon knows. I want to think Thrawn's the only one. They can let us know.
They can have like these covert thing and information on.
We already know. So the cool thing is the way that they, of course, lay out the breadcrumbs. It's the breadcrumbs that lead to it for us as viewers to see how it gets there. That's what I really want these series to do, is lay out the path for us.
Yeah, I want the fact that I want Pershing to have known what the plan was, but Gideon not know the whole thing. And this plan, what we're going to talk about in a minute about the mind flaying, that whole thing. I hope that was set up by Thrawn somehow. That would be cool. Right, like
yeah.
you know what? Since you're the only one that knows what's going on, why we're doing this cloning thing, we're gonna zap your shit. And Elia doesn't need to know anything. She just needs to know she has a job from the Grand Admiral saved her somehow.
Yeah.
Course.
Well, do you want to get? When we still? I mean, okay, so
We can come back. Which point were you on?
we can go Pershing and then go back to Bo-Katan and finish it.
Yeah,
up.
because
How
we're
about
on
that?
Coruscant right now.
Yeah,
That's
let's
where
do
it
it.
goes.
So I got to tell you guys something here.
Yep.
So the meat of this episode was Pershing's I'll put
journey.
a question mark on. Yeah, I'll put a question mark on it. But tying up his plot, I'll put a question mark.
Pretty sure.
I absolutely loved it. I kind of expected it and didn't at the same time. Like I was like second guessing. This is what made this show good to me. This episode good. As I was watching it, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, she's going to betray him." But is she? Oh, she's definitely going to betray him. But is she? Right? Like I was doing that, and they did a great job by keeping me on that suspense until, of course, she did it under. I mean, I thought first of all, these two actors are probably the best ones to date in this series. They were great together. I just loved it. Like I said, it reminded me of watching like Andor, how it was just kind of like watching these things take place, and it'd just be awesome. And also, Ernie, I do expect those glow in the dark lollipops to be in Batu very, very soon.
Yeah, like
For
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
we always say it's such a missed opportunity with all this stuff that could be there that we would
man.
stupidly buy immediately.
Stupidly buy a lot to get a stomachache on purpose.
Yeah, go get a photon fizzle.
Yeah, exactly. But we do begin this with Pershing doing a lecture to the New Republic about his work.
This is in the opera hall too, isn't it? That's the opera hall from Revenge of the Sith.
It's the
Dude,
Plagueis.
I love the fact that like it just felt like episode 1, stuff like the stuff. It was so great, man. But yeah, dude, like this was great, and describing to us the technology about how to splice certain DNAs for certain things, which is I think this is important.
That is important. What I love first though about the character on this speech is that this is that kind of imperial thing, right? The way we kind of cross our lines because he's talking about how important this work is, and he was working for the Empire, and he feels bad, but he was doing important work, and he had thought about cloning to save his mom, and all these things, right?
Right.
So, just to make a point that Pershing never ever comes from a dark place.
No.
Right?
No.
But he knows where who was letting him do his research was the Empire. The New Republic does not allow it.
Nope.
And that's a problem. And that's his life.
It really did show like the bureaucracy and kind of like the passiveness of the New Republic, when he was getting schmoozed after the speech, right? Like, you come over here, and Pershing's just like, I was talking, shop to this dude. He was like interested in, and you guys are trying to wine and dine me, which I just want to work, and that is the big difference between the Empire. Like I said, the Empire worked, of course, for its selfish reasons, but also gave people a purpose, sinister or whatever.
Put that pick back up. Thanks.
Don't yell at me.
Sorry, no. I was just letting Marco. Hey, this is the worst. This is the worst shot in the whole damn show. The crowd is ridiculously lame, right? This little paint thing. The volume stuck out again, and it hadn't stuck out in a while.
When the volume was first, it was like it's so funny how you say that. Like the volume thing at first was like this great innovation. It was work, and now it's just looks like it's like a big screen in the back.
Once we hit Andor again, dude, and Andor showed us the practicals, and then Mando started with it the first two. Don't put me in. Don't stay out of the volume.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Scott. Thanks.
That's okay.
I just wanted to make sure that was the worst scene.
It was as far as the volume goes, but I still think the volume, when done, with the proper budget, it's great. I mean, I look at Obi-Wan, series, and I'm like, okay, that's all volume. You could tell, and this one, it had a scene.
Yeah, but you knew it was.
Yeah.
When it went into the volume, it was very obvious, and that's the problem, right? The rest of it is beautiful. I mean, like I've been watching a movie for 3 weeks now, except for those pieces, and it's been cool.
And that's what. So my opening, when I was doing my opening monologue out here,
this was your chance to go to the bathroom.
What's that?
He said he's been watching a movie all this time. I said, so this little scene was your chance to go to the bathroom during this movie and come back and be like, What did I miss?
The reason why the Disney Plus shows do not read as the serial drama like Star Wars does. So there is a huge difference, and you're going to get different energies going off and telling this grand story. And especially like, so Michael, first off, he says, thank you, or Ernie, welcome back, Federation baby.
What up,
So
Michael?
Michael says that. But he also brings up this point too. It's like me and the wife are 39 minutes in and wondering in the episode if the episode turns back to the Mandalorian or it gets exciting again. Now, to that point,
I find it super
like
exciting.
I said,
I did too.
of course, the payoff made it exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting. Now, and again, I was on every word because all of it means something moving forward. Again, for the most part, yes, we love entertainment and we get excited and we fist pump and we do things for the emotional reason that Star Wars gives us. But for the most part, when we watch Star Wars, it's for the content. Before we say it's good, exciting, bad, or whatever. That's not like that's not our vocabulary just yet. It's like, what did this series just bring us? Like, what did the hell did this just do? And then we like talk, and then we get animated about it.
And then we get really mad when there's nothing that episode that really does anything. Then it's like, what did this episode do?
Yeah.
And then we nitpick the crap out of it.
I thought it was important to kind of show Pershing's and the New Republic's attitude and the whole happenings around it, and especially his struggle through it, like his day to day,
finding purpose,
and then trying to, and it was interesting to say because I've had this thought too, where like, okay, what about all the Imperial worlds after the war? It's not just like, okay, tomorrow we're no longer Imperial. It's the integration. They were in like rehabilitation camps.
People are losing their jobs
and
their lives have to get done.
Look at that.
Yeah. Well, before we get to this part,
Okay.
hold on. The last thing in the Opera House, there was one thing you said every word right. There was a one sentence that was super super important from Pershing when he was talking to the rich people outside. He said they were asking about his technology or his cloning, and he said, "Well, the first cast rejected immediately, but." And he was going to tell the story about the next set, how it was really encouraging. And he got interrupted. Then he started to go back again and got interrupted again. We're like, oh, shit, there's that story, right?
Yeah.
And that you got to get to. And he's about to tell about this next strand that's taking Force sensitives. And that's the part that we're never going to get because of what happens to him.
Yeah. Right. Michael.
Sorry.
The short answer might be no. That this episode didn't have the return to the quote unquote excitement. No, but it is setting up things that it's the long haul, man. Like it's
the end's exciting.
like Andor.
Yeah, the end is actually
the end is exciting.
Awesome. Wait. When did the dogfight happen? Was that in the beginning?
That was the beginning.
Oh, then you're not
That
going
was
to
the
get any more
beginning because that's how they.
excited.
That's how they pulled you in.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
if
the
that's
end
what
finishes the story.
It's so funny because what some people deem exciting, like the dogfight,
Yeah.
and then what Chris just said about Pershing's last thing and be interrupted about the failure. That's exciting to me.
I'm out of my chair. Like what, man?
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
exciting
be
because again, it's
completely honest?
Tell me
with you?
about the what?
I want to be completely honest with a statement that Mooch just said. Was that beginning pulled me in? I'm dead tired. I have work, and I see that pop on. Like, oh, am I going to watch it? And I was fully in. Then all of a sudden, my internet kicks off for the night.
Oh,
Like it went out, like you were saying, Mario, yours did. And I'm like, what the hell? Like I just saw the dogfight and everything happened. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm trying to reset, find out. It says it's down. Okay, now I have to watch it on my stupid phone. I get set on the phone, and then I get that whole middle story, and I swear to God, I was Ralphie because I was like, son of a bitch. I stayed up for this. Like,
I'm
serious. And then it was back to the end.
You missed things. Yeah,
I swear, because that fight and all the beginning, I was like, oh my God, this episode, I'm staying up. And you scramble to get things done, and I have to watch it on the phone. And I got his, and I've been waiting to talk to you guys all day because as we get into it, I'm confused. I do not know what happened.
Oh, okay.
During the end of this story arc.
All right. Easy to explain.
But his?
Yeah,
all
Pershing.
of it. Why? Is she bad? Is she?
We don't
know.
know.
Let's roll through it then. Let's hit it.
First off, I love Miss
I'm confused.
Great.
Yeah.
Her comment's great. New Republic sucks. Glad Leia joined the Resistance. I totally agree.
So let's go back to that scene with everybody at the table.
And I want to point out too, isn't this Cyril's apartment complex?
It seems like it.
It does seem like
I think it's Cyril's apartment complex from Andor.
It's very Andorish throughout.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I left that picture of those droids in there on purpose. Because I really like that they've kind of upgraded droids. They all have eyes now, almost all of them.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the droids in this episode versus almost anything else, the Coruscant droids are very like high polished and dipped like that eyeballs.
Yeah.
Right, to make them less creepy, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the previous one is the Ralph McQuarrie concept for 3PO. I mean,
I
almost like line
I
for
love
line.
it. But I love the droids in this episode specifically. Looked a lot different.
But look how
this one was total Baymax.
Yeah.
But
I just brought up like Miss Funfire's comment because look how impersonal the New Republic became.
Yeah.
You're dealing with droids, and it's like
and their numbers.
And
these guys have numbers.
Their numbers again. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they went from being TKs or whatever to being, whatever their
G48 or G68, L52, M40, and G27.
Yeah.
Screw these guys.
Yeah. But at the same time, they're also very worried about your feelings. So, how are you feeling?
Oh, man, the droid interview.
Yeah.
And it was really, are you feeling any aggression towards your coworkers? Are you feeling any expression towards the New Republic? Are you a psychopath?
This was never going to go right. That's
dude.
This is
so
Baymax. Do you feel that your health is okay? Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from the first interview when the droid asked about the coworkers to the second one when he wasn't able to do the work. Right? Do you feel any resentment towards the New Republic? And he waited and waited. Yeah. I was like, man, that's really good. He's getting mad. Yeah. And to the point of finding purpose, I think it's not even so much finding purpose; it's the matter that they took his purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And he has something that he is very, very passionate about, and it's not that he has to find it; he knows where it is. He just has to take it.
He offered it to the New Republic, and they just kind of like, "There's no need. We're scrapping all the Empire."
His life, and that's what we say about not everybody was anti-Empire because some people's life work revolves around the Empire. It's all they know,
Yeah, William Scott Crawford. So he's saying that he didn't get this episode. There were some awesome visuals in the episode, which is a bonus. Then it felt like they dropped an Andor episode in the middle. Then Andor episode went wrong.
That's funny. I think it's just the tone is why everybody thinks it's Andor and the fact that we're on Coruscant and the lights and stuff. But I tell you what, if it was an Andor episode, it's my favorite Andor episode, easily. I didn't hate Andor, everybody, with a little asterisk, right? It was just whatever.
It was like this. It was more of the.
This is way better.
No, I'm talking about more of the background information that you're getting than the. Like I said, the cameo stuff.
This stuff is specifically moving to things. This was neat. Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, this, the mountain Umate, Peak of Umate. This is the only piece of actual land on Coruscant that you can see and touch. Well, not touch, actually, as we know now. But this was brought up in the New Republic, right? The first New Republic book, they talked about this, or maybe the second. Maybe it was Claudia Gray's book, where they talked about the Peak of Umate. So it was pretty cool.
No, it's cool because I forgot what book that was in too. There was a book with that.
It was Claudia Gray's. It was the Rising. Rising Storm was.
It's just it's those things that reinforces our mental lores and our canon stuff about like Coruscant is. It's one big city.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we now have a name for Wednesday.
Yes.
In Star Wars, it's Bendu Day. I mean,
and is that
fantastic?
I wanted to know what that was though, because is that the Bendu?
Yeah.
Remember, Bendu's the middle. He's not. He's the one in the middle. Who's Wednesday?
And Wednesday's the middle. Yeah.
Although it could have been a confusion because there was a celebration outside. It could have been a holiday, but I'm pretty sure that was always
right.
They've had their Tongs Day.
Why were they celebrating the Bendu?
I don't think they were. I think it was just the day, the middle. But hey, back to that scene though. There's more Andor. That's why everybody feels Andor because now we're in cubicles again.
Yeah, we're back in
right, and we're looking at the files that look like Rogue One files, like we've seen before, right? And he's using microfiche from 1974.
Yeah,
so he's going through his files.
Love it.
But really, really cool to see his mundane existence where he went from this guy went from cloning force sensitive Grogu and in the war and doing things important and trying to save things to filing things getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And what I love about that is Homeboy back here again, just like in Andor and other shows, they have jobs to do, right? He's like, man, look, I don't got time to do this. I've got things to get rid of for the Empire, and we're decommissioning the Imperial or the Alliance, the Alliance fleet.
Oh, that too, right? Yeah,
the Alliance, the decommissioning of the Alliance fleet. Mon Mothma is destroying this thing. This is exactly what the New Republic is garbage, dude.
That's
so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
after
this-
going through everything you just went through, why would you get rid of your defense force? What?
Ever.
Why?
I
Yeah.
know. Well, it was the
Makes no
creation of the
sense.
defense. Well, it's the manipulation of the creation of the defense force that got us to the emperor too, the empire
Yeah.
too. So there is that politics involved in that too. But okay, so we'll have to go through this because, like Ernie, like okay, so Pershing's role in this, and Ella,
Aaliyah.
Elia. I wrote it down too somewhere. So Elia. Okay, so anybody who wants to, refresh, she was the communications officer on Gideon's ship. We saw her in one episode where, the last episode, I believe, right?
A couple
Yeah,
episodes.
she was in a
actually.
couple.
She was in-
Yeah, a couple. So she obviously escaped that whole, or turned herself into this whole rehabilitation of the new empire, new republic. But the mention on that table, when Pershing was going to his house and he met her, he goes, "I didn't know that anybody from Gideon's ship was here." The mention of Gideon, the rumored of like, didn't he escape or he already got mind flayed? Kind of that dialogue right there is important. So we'll have to kind of see. Like I said, I'm hoping we get an episode that Gideon escaped or something. That same force that was after all the TIE fighters broke him out of that whole thing. That'd be great. But so this is where Pershing is being befriended by her, saying like, I'm in the same shoes as you. She gave him like the rations to bring him back, like kind of like, gain his trust. And
Oh, dude, the biscuits.
yeah, the biscuits. Yeah.
Number one, British writing, because those are cookies or crackers, dude. Those aren't biscuits. Get out of here. But yes, that was a cool touch that she was able to do it that fast. What a setup, right?
Yeah, it was earning his trust and talking to him at that level where she manipulated him to basically, follow, trust in her and do all these things and to evidently get to him, kill him, mind flame, do whatever it is. But we do get that whole reveal that she's working against the rules of the New Republic. She's working against her own. Like she infiltrated either under Gideon's orders, saying like the only person that needs to be eliminated at this point is Pershing because he knows our plan. He knows things.
Yeah.
He can't be having
That's
he can't
exactly
be having
right.
the stuff that he's been or he cannot be allowed to teach the New Republic what we've been working on.
They have him. We need him dead. That's what I'm saying. Thrawn wants him dead. He's the only one that knows about what's really going on. Gideon won't even know half of it.
Right.
Gideon's going to think it's for him. Thrawn knows.
Gotcha,
Thrawn wants him dead. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah. But that was the whole point of it, like getting to him and I mean, someone could say, okay, and this is why I don't think his story is over. Because someone, I think, mentioned, why didn't she just shoot him when they were alone on the thing, right? It's like, no, because he was eventually, taken to or set up at this whole point. The New Republic came in, and she was like, set this whole thing, mind flayed him, wiped his memory or whatever, and she turned up the volume to just basically give him a lobotomy.
Right.
But they didn't kill him because maybe there's still purpose for him in
that we know
whoever
of.
ordered this. Yeah,
It could have killed him.
that
We
we know.
don't know. He could be a vegetable. He could be dead. We don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying. That's why I put a question mark, right?
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
question mark. Because otherwise, she could have just killed him and then just, he died escaping. And nobody would know to be the wiser.
Right.
I will say that Omid wasn't talking. Whenever I
Yeah,
reached out to him today, he didn't elaborate. I'm like, damn it. All right. So
But
It's a
here we go.
trap.
But the scene you're on here with we all knew it was coming at some point, or you figure it's going to come. But she brought me here. It was a trap.
Yeah,
So
it was a
okay,
trap.
little giggle, but the look on the doctor's face, on
Where have
Cal's
I heard
face,
this before?
when he looks up, he's like, "This was a total office look. Like, are you serious?"
Yeah.
Right? I wish he would have looked at the camera and kind of like tilted his head.
How dare you take our motto from me? Yeah.
Who does this? Who does that?
Who? Yeah.
Let's see here. I had some. Oh, the lab. Let's find the lab. Let's go to the lab real quick. So they get into the lab. She gets him. The Star Destroyer view first. You had a cool Star Destroyer view up.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about when I thought Jedi Fallen Order. Like, that's just
Right,
what I
right.
see, right?
The
That's just a
scrapyards
cool
and-
scene,
yeah, sure.
the scrapyard. We talked about that before. I didn't realize there were scrapyards on Coruscant. I still don't think there are shipyards to build them, but there could be. It's a huge planet, right? Whatever. But that's cool. But then we go to the lab. And this is my point about the lab. He's going in this lab to get, and this is the scene exactly, to get all this stuff so he can continue his very important, very big research, right? And really, it all is a bunch of empty test tubes that fit in that case that he can pick up very easily without breaking a sweat. And he would, and that's all you need, bro. And he was just grabbing. He was grabbing empty shit he could have got at the store.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought he was going to be working out of that whole area.
When she said mobile lab, I'm thinking like a unit.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what that box opens up into. Maybe it's like a transformer.
I know that box has a bunch of empty shit he put in it. That's it. That was horrible. That's the part of my what was cut. Nothing's in there, dude. Stop pretending.
Yeah, he was grabbing miscellaneous stationery.
Hey, I like this unit here because
were these the guys that Canto Bight? Like, remember those ships at Canto Bight, the police? It looked like it.
We've seen them there. We've seen them also in the Night of 1,000 Tears, if I recall. Weren't they in that?
I don't remember those.
I don't remember that.
I want to say it's like that. It's like I thought about it. It's even something else. I've seen it recently. Maybe it was in Rebels. Where it's almost like sounds like a helicopter when it goes, but that's why I take a shot of it because we've seen this somewhere else before. Yeah,
it was the police, like even the police uniforms that they were.
Yes,
they were Canto. It was all like those guys look like Canto Bight. You know,
Canto Bight /
Canto Bight Canto Bight people had capes. Yes. This is like the guy who was they're dressed right there like the guy who was flying the prison transport in the prisoner episode of Mando.
Oh, yeah. Matt Latner, right?
Matt Latner.
Yeah.
So
that's funny. Well, anyway, that was good there. Then we what do we do here? We go back. We finish this up. He gets caught. They mind flame. She turns it up to 11, jacks him up, and we're pretty much done. We don't know what happens to him. We're assuming now that he's done, that his story's over. I think the next time we see him, he'll be talking gibberish just to show him talking gibberish.
Like I said, that's why I said is the Pershing plot over ? Because again, I always have to go through this. Like, she could have just killed him, left him for dead, and problem solved, and then no one would expect her, but why did she go through this trouble to set him up to just erase or lobotomize him to a point because maybe they know they can bring him back to a different, I don't know.
Well, like they do with Crosshair. They put Crosshair in a machine just like that, right? So maybe whatever they're doing to her
just
or
to
him is like what they're doing
silence to him, to erase his memory, to to all that stuff, and we'll see.
I still need to know why.
Yeah, well, it's because he knows about the Emperor.
That's the cliffhanger.
It's the Emperor. It's the Emperor.
That's the think about it. There's that scene where she went like she was watching him being mind flayed, right? She adjusted her suit real taut, and then she took a bite
just
of the
ration. She did in that episode. She did in that in the Imperial episode. Yeah,
she's Imperial. She's a staunch Imperialist.
Totally.
And that was showing us like she's working for somebody. She infiltrated the New Republic, and this whole thing went through all these programs to get to Pershing, to mainly get to him. And the question is why? That's the cliffhanger. That's the question we're going to have to find out.
She's working
to the New Republic so that the Empire uses him again.
Either that or to like I said, He
knows the secret. He knows the big plan. He knows what they're doing. She doesn't. She doesn't know. Here's where I'm at now. She's working for Thrawn, watching Gideon, knows what's going on here. That's how I see it now. I don't think she's Gideon's person.
Spy.
I think she's Thrawn's spy on Gideon that happens to have to deal with this right now. Right? And that's what's happening. But she knows that Gideon understands the work, understands why they were doing it, and knows how to splice it, and she can't have that information getting to anybody else about Palpatine. She doesn't know that, but Thrawn does, sends her to kill him or erase him. That's where I'm at. That's the why, because he knows too much. Actually, but some of the talk today was that this episode, or maybe some of the plot, was trying to pull together items from the Rangers of the New Republic show that got canned.
Right.
This is the stuff that Cara Dune would have been in, trying to figure out the spy stuff, back end stuff, all this. And they're kind of not shoehorning it in, but making it part of this plot, like the Mando stuff was in Boba.
Didn't we say that's what they exactly could do? We said that when we heard that the show was going to be canceled or whatever. We're like, they could just integrate all those into the Mandalorian plot because it's all from there. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past it. So, But anyway, we're gonna have to see where it goes, and that's what's cool about it. It's like, okay, where does this go? And that's what.
But it gave us a bunch of things to talk about, which is freaking rad, right? So every week it's like, oh, this can go this way or this way.
Yeah.
And I love that, and that's really cool. I really don't get to hate on this. I've seen comments in here. No. Somebody just said that after having an adult or William Scott, right, Crawford said after having an adult Andor going to this. That's so funny because I feel Star Wars when it's more like this. I told you Andor didn't feel like Star Wars. I didn't have any magic. It was just a cool thriller type drama story, right? This show feels like Star Wars. I have the action, I have dogfights, I have force use, I have magic, I have kids, I have all sorts of things. You know, little comedy here and there. It's it feels like
it's not a concentrated. It's not concentrated like Andor is a concentrated section of Star Wars.
And it's cool that we can actually kind of come
politics,
into this.
It's got
but we slid into the Andor world right now, which is fine and awesome actually because it's a shared universe. Of course, you're going to have places that feel and look like Andor. They exist. You know.
Yeah.
So,
no. I dug it. I did. I'll be honest. I did feel a little bit like, okay, can we get back to the Mandalorian a little bit? But but at the same time, I go, we're only 3 episodes in. If this was like episode 7, then I'd be like, come on, what are we doing?
And the first time I watched it was too much. What's going on with her? The second time watching it and watching her manipulate him was so much better. I'm like, oh, this whole episode, it's not a big rewatch episode. Except for, to me, the Mandalorian parts, which are the end, the bookends.
Sure. I did feel though that even though she was playing him the whole time, I feel like she honestly did kind of grow to like him over the course of the time that they spent together. It looked like there was some true regret in her eyes whenever she had to do what she had to do.
I don't know, because that last scene to me, because again, how she kind of came back to that, like fixing herself and then taking a bite and like mission accomplished. That to me, I thought that was like a very, very well played.
Totally played him.
Like,
right.
She probably. I don't know. I didn't feel like she felt bad at all.
Hey, you know who we should see soon? Pride.
Oh yes.
Wouldn't you think that would come up pretty soon with all these warlords? He should be.
You'd think.
He served the Empire since the Clone Wars.
And he was one of the warlords in one of the books, wasn't he?
I believe so.
I know he made an appearance in a book not too long ago, and he was younger and.
So this could be cool. I just thought about that. So it might not even be Thrawn yet. We might go through Pride to get the Thrawn, or vice versa, or to see them all. We're still Sloane's out there.
Sloane. Yeah.
There's no reason not to see Ray Sloane. Pride.
Again, we're dropping stuff from the books and novels, and that's why it's cool to kind of delve into that too. So.
All right. So now we get back to Mando, right? He's like, hey, I'm going to take you to the covert, Bo. And they still follow the old ways. And hey, if it's best, if you go ahead and leave that helmet on.
I
love it. Trust me. But the funny thing is, she hasn't taken it off in a day. Right?
No,
so
that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's not noticing that because he's in the other ship. He's not paying attention.
Right.
But she's had this on for a minute.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think she's seeing how this is going to play out. And so when they go to this, I don't think we know what planet this is, right? This is just their hidden.
Neat ass planet though. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, so hold on. I love the Cobra Commando in the back there. Every time I see the episode or take this screenshot or look at it, I'm like, how is there mass glare like that? It's such a bad glare. Even when they're working, I'm like, God damn, it looks just like a visor. But anyway, yes, back to here and everybody's coming out.
Yeah, like I said, I you got to pay attention to Paz Vizsla here because he's the only one in the entire remaining of this episode that did not congratulate, did not join in. And it was shown on purpose. It was kind of shown like he felt resentment for both Din and Bo being there.
He was the first one out there. He looks upset the whole time. Last week, it's funny. He emotes very well out of this armor too. Last week it was nothing but pride when his son was up, and then protection when he was hurt or whatever that kid is. And then today it's nothing but who the F are you and why are you here?
Yeah, you guys are both apostates. Like you're both apostates. You don't belong here.
This line, and who are you, Night Owl?
Yeah, Night Owl. I love it.
Get out of here.
I love how they're just so involved and all the factions and everybody keeps tabs on everybody. It's so great. You know what I mean?
I love how they have to be together to help each other, but yet they still hate each other.
Yeah.
So I would love more of this call out. Like I would have loved if she had answered him back.
Right.
Yeah. But I feel like she doesn't because she doesn't have her crew with her, right?
Yeah. All she does is I'm Bo Katan Kryz.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
And Kryz. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes off about how you're disgraced and you're an apostate too. I mean, man, this guy knows his stuff, and he's mad. He's Vizsla. That's the thing. He's the heir to that Darksaber. Right. He thinks he should be running it.
He should be running everything. Right.
Yeah. This is going to be be an issue.
People are
cool.
talking about how little his
So-
helmet. I think he's just a huge guy. I think he's just so big it makes the helmet look small.
You said the way that the guy who plays it. So the guy who plays him was the first one at the very first
Episode.
episode 1.
Yeah.
The guy in the bar who had the very
Itumando?
first line. Yes.
Oh, that's
Really?
him. That's him
yeah.
behind the
That's
mask.
the one who
Oh, okay.
plays this guy. Yeah.
Ah,
So I mean, he
right
does
on.
a hell of a job because you can see the hate through the mask,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh
That's
my god,
that's
it's
something
so
that
good.
Star Wars has always done really well.
Yep.
You look back at Return of the Jedi, the end scene where Darth Vader has all of his emotions playing on
Yeah.
his helmet, and it's
Yeah.
it's the same thing. There's just there's a way that they get the right actors to put these masks on, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, even
Oh,
even droids, and when Leia tells 3PO to wipe that look off your face, it's like it's so
Yeah.
true she said that because
Yeah.
we always can see his expression, like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't
Chris.
ever change.
Chris does a hell of a job for what he does too. I mean, it's amazing. It really is the way that they play everything, man.
Yeah.
So good, so
So
good.
good.
No, it is. Yeah, that's exactly. You don't. Yeah. So of course, he has the water and he brings it to the armor and to prove that he bathed in the waters. And this is a cool scene because I didn't really think. I mean, like it was the armor who basically told Din, "Oh, you're back," but she also looked to Bo and said, "You're back too." You're like.
Once she tested in the evil, wicked sorcerer cauldron thing and says
Yeah.
this is the right water, which is whatever. I'm cool
Right,
with it.
yeah.
I'm absolutely cool with it. Don't care. But yeah,
Yeah.
and Bo-Katan agrees. By the creed, you're redeemed too. Whoa, and that shocked
Yeah.
me because I'm really figuring
Yeah.
these two are going to go at it one
I
day.
thought so too.
So I was
thought-
waiting for it, and God, did I want her to say Bo, and I wanted Bo to say something like Bertha, like her real name, like.
Well,
Because
you know
we just
yeah.
we know her as the armor, and that's it.
Whatever,
I would love if they
Amanda.
really, yeah, exactly, for real.
Amanda.
And
Is that-
and then like all
Omega.
the Mandos
It's
turn
Omega.
Oh,
it's
shit.
Omega.
Oh
but
my
you changed it to
god!
Amanda,
And
so
then,
no one would
all
find
of the
it.
Mandos turn and look at them like, ooh, these
They
girls
got
gonna
history.
fight? Yeah.
Earrings
Well,
are
like,
coming off. you had earrings on under there. Yeah.
That's
She
funny.
takes off her shawl.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
just
Wow.
everything. I was waiting
Yeah.
for it so
So
bad.
the rumor
Yeah.
on her has been that it's cast Rook cast from
Rook cast.
from Mandalore before when she was a Mandalorian, right? And that's why she still has the horns.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I'm still holding on to Omega. But
It's not Omega.
I hope it'd be cool.
Okay, so like this was interesting because Din accepted it all. Bo fought it at first, right? She's like, no, I'm not, or she said something, I forgot what it was, but
She said, "I don't walk the way."
yeah, I don't walk away. And she goes, well, you haven't taken your helmet off and you bathed in the waters. It's like, is that all it takes?
And it wasn't her telling her I don't walk away. It's like, but I don't. Like questioning
Right,
it.
right.
Like you're gonna redeem me, and I'm okay with. Again, this is nothing nefarious on her part. It's all taking like you're taking me in.
Well, not only that, she
100%
said you can leave when you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
I
contract.
100%. I agree that this stage right here, or this ceremony to Bo-Katan was a complete surprise, even to her. Like she was there to witness, to tell them like I witnessed Din, bathe in the waters, and so he's good to go. And then when they turned it on her, and then they all accepted her and gave her the pats and all that stuff. I think that's where I think in my head, Bo was like, what's going on? Like okay, let's see. This is interesting.
She has a clan again. She has a clan. She has a people again.
Well, they accepted her. Now it's up to her to accept it, right? Like
Right,
she's gonna have to.
right.
She's gonna have to struggle to like Chris said, like walk the path, and play in that sandbox of whatever. But I think she was lost on the throne. Now there's a purpose here, and there's her family, and the creed has all. She like Chris was saying. She saw the creed come into life. She sees Din as, like I said, the savior with the clan of two, and Grogu too. Grogu's not left too far behind.
She should
She
be
saw
the
the
truest
mythosaur, meaning
believer
all
of
the-
all of them.
Yeah, the legends are true. The plaque was true. The dark saber is there.
It kind of was there too when the last week's episode when she was explaining it to him, right? I was here as a kid, but I was doing it for my dad, like I had to.
Right? Yeah,
Like-
she was
like
she
she
was
was on
going
the
through the
child
motions.
one. Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And now she's seen it as that. Yeah, because we don't see her crew with her in her castle. They
No.
obviously left.
They told her she said they left me. They're out being mercenaries, and you just
Correct.
wave your little sword around. They'll follow
And they'll
you
follow-
anywhere.
Yeah.
Pissed off, about it.
Yeah. So I
yeah.
wonder if she does follow this. But man, I was really hoping for that too. So much of beef between her and the armorer. I really was.
Maybe they really just need to shore this up and unite Mandalore, and they're really literally trying to unite Mandalore before the big threat comes, or split it straight in half and have them fighting on either side of the big threat.
So that's the key right there, Chris. What you just said. The bigger threat, combining. We're set it's like a chessboard. We're setting up our moves, and then to face the threat.
Yeah.
So like I said, and sometimes in my head, like where Ernie was going, like, I thought there was gonna be like a conflict between like the Armorer's group and the Bo-Katan's group and stuff and I'm like, okay, maybe not. Maybe this is gonna be where like you got Din with the Darksaber, Grogu right there, the Mythosaur, you got the entire Mandalore, and then the bigger threat comes. You're like, oh crap, this needed to happen. We're like, Thrawn's back, or something. This is detrimental. Again, all this has to be resolved before we get into the sequels, right? This whole it's not a galactic conflict, but it's going to be the outer under the shadows conflict.
Yeah,
because the New Republic is so damn blind about everything that they're gonna let the formation of the First Order form right underneath their noses. They're gonna have these reports of kidnapping kids for the First Order's stormtrooper program. Yep. And the New Republic is not going to do anything about it, and that's important too.
So bury their head in the sand and decommission their fleet. They're so naive. It's ridiculous. After coming back from 30 years of galactic war, and you think everything's going to be okay. Let's just go ahead and mothball the fleet. It's all good. Nobody wants to fight anymore.
Since the Aftermath books, and that's the very damn first thing in canon. They talk about demilitarization. It's like, what the hell? Why are we demilitarizing?
I think maybe them coming together and there's not the fight that we wanted, that they realize that is because I think maybe the big thing is we really don't know who destroyed Mandalore, right? They keep saying the story of 1,000 Tears, and
the Emperor, the Empire. It was Gideon. Gideon was the ISB officer in charge of Mandalore.
You think it was? We know that for a fact. No. It was Moff?
It was him. Yeah, he's in charge of blowing up that planet. Empire turned it to glass. That was they keep showing the bombings going over that same place we see.
Because I feel again like that would be said of we don't need to fight. We need to go after Gideon.
Like that round dome we keep seeing, right? It was in Clone Wars, it was in Rebels, and we keep seeing the flashbacks getting bombed. That's where they were when it's glass and they're going down. They're in that city. Yeah, it's all wrecked. So
right.
The Empire did that during that bombing.
Yeah,
but Gideon, it was Gideon.
We know Gideon was the ISB officer on Mandalore, in charge of Mandalore. So he was going to be a huge part of it.
Because I feel like that should be said more if we have all these different factions. And then plus saying that, I would love if everybody introduced their faction, right? It's just so we knew who was there.
Well, like what Chris was saying, like if Moff Gideon was part of the 7th Fleet, like he should have had the symbol on him, but
yeah. No, I'm talking about Mandalorians.
That's coming because we have Christopher Lloyd's crew coming soon.
Right.
And that's going to be a whole different sect of Mandos. There's going to be a couple different sects of Mandos. We've only seen 15 or 20. We've been told we were going to see close to 100 Mandos.
Yeah.
In this series, we have other clans coming. This is just the beginning. This is just these two. Then we start building. When he starts building everybody up and they're trying to unite. This is why I don't think she's going to turn. I really think they're going to get all these other clans together. She's going to be part of this clan, and they're going to unite.
I don't. Yeah,
I
never.
Against?
Well, that's the question. That's
Gideon. Gideon first. We'll find out there's other stuff behind him.
Yeah.
Then
Definitely
the Thrawn behind it.
And that's in
a roundabout way. I don't think directly. I don't think Gideon works for him. I think Thrawn steps over him.
Well, this is why the Pershing episode or this content was important, because it showed Elsa, right?
Elia, but whatever.
Thank you, Elia.
We'll let it go.
Anna?
We'll let it go.
I never knew
well
she
done,
never said her name, so it's like but anyway, Elia, it was important because she was directly involved by passing Pershings in the hall and directly involved with Gideon. So the orders of killing Pershing were sent from him. That's why it's got to be a direct order from Gideon himself. So
somebody.
he's escaped somehow, some way, but I don't want that to be a thing. Do not drop don't just do the Inquisitor thing. Just show up and be like, yeah, I just left. I escaped. They broke me out. We got to see it. And it has to be something, bigger than just a jailbreak. So sympathizers or whatever. So
I had to remind myself of who Rook Cast was after, you had said that, Chris. And I think, I want to say Julianne Fernie had brought her up earlier. And this was Rook Cast. She's the one with the purple blue hair right there. One of the Mandalorians.
Also, same surname as Jodo Cast, which would be a
absolutely
cool show up, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
all right, yeah. So again,
her cousin.
You know what? I really want Boba Fett season 2 to deal with Jodo Cast impersonating Boba Fett. Oh my god!
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be freaking great. I would love that.
Yeah.
How old would Jodo Cast be?
Who cares? It's brand new to them.
No, but
he's not a clone. He would be the same age as Boba.
He's regular dude. He's a regular
yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's just he's a Mandalorian, just faking Boba.
Okay.
Or actually a regular dude with Mando armor, I think. Well, I don't know if he had. I don't
know if he was a Mandalorian.
There's no Jodo canon right now.
Right. No. They kind of used the Cobb Vanth thing as his
little bit,
a little. Yeah.
God,
About
Disney
being
really
the
takes
imposter
everything and
of
just
Boba.
tweaks it a little bit. Yeah.
As long as we get it right. So I mean,
Right. But anyway, so we're there. Night out. Armor confirms. Blah blah. Everything's good. Yeah, that's all my notes. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 3 episodes in, and yes, we have more questions than answers. And I do. Okay, so the sentiment in the chat, there's a lot of people saying like,
I see it.
the energy.
I get it.
But this is where you would put that kind of energy into it. The 3rd episode.
Oh, I much
You know what I
prefer
mean?
it right now than right in the middle
Yeah.
for 3 in a row. If you're gonna do these, do it right now. Give me one more in like 2 or 3 episodes, and then be done with it with these things. But I don't get the first 2. I understand the complaints here because it was a total change in tone. I get it. I get that. But it was still a great part of the story that we need for the overall.
Yes,
I don't get the beef of anything with Din in it. Every single scene with Din in it had to do with Mandalorians, had to do with pirates. Anything else is very important.
I agree.
The pirates, we talked about last week, the pirates are important because those are supposedly the villains in the skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Right, and we're just introduced them there. I mean, everything going on in this show is super important and cool, and it looks rad, and I've enjoyed the shit out of every part of it, even the slower talks.
I have too, and I've learned patience over my years of these
I
kind of stuff.
haven't.
Well, I mean, to a point, right? Like Bad Batch, that's way too much patience that I needed. Like,
oh man.
So right now, next week is the mid-season of Mandalore season 3, mid-season here. So that's where you would get some fireworks and you would get some stuff.
And I think it's again, we talked about with Bad Batch and Mando, the cloning things are really, really crossing right now. Really crossing hard. We're about to hit Tanis next week, and we're just dealing with Pershing right now. How sick is that when they're going to cross up and we're going to see the same experiment that's going to show up in both shows in the same week at some point?
Yeah. So no, again, it's cool. That's what we're here. We're here to talk this out. So everybody, I appreciate everybody in the pit and the stuff. I know, like, I couldn't get to all your stuff. I know Bondage Brittany was on I was reading your comments. Trust me, I'm not ignoring it. You just were going completely different areas
where we were in the conversation.
Oh, geez, yeah. So it was great. So I am reading them, of course. You guys were live today. It was awesome. Stick with it. I think it's going to be good. I know a lot of you are already. There's only a couple. I don't think anybody's saying they're done with it. I'm just saying, like, they understand the energy. They're calling it out, and that's fine.
You know what I want to see again? Miss Sunflower was asked why they didn't attack the other planets in the system. I don't know. Probably easier just to bombard the capital. What I want to see, what we haven't seen, is Concord Dawn. Right?
Yeah.
We've seen Concordia and Kalevala, but Concord Dawn is a jacked up bit. Right? It's like broken off with bits of it floating. I want to see that in live action and them go to Concord Dawn. But that's going to be where I bet you that's where I just said his name a minute ago. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd. I bet that's where his clan is on Concord.
That'd be awesome.
They're the protectors. That would be freaking sick.
What was the main name of the name of the main protector from Rebels who is on Concord Dawn?
Was it Gar Saxon?
Gar Saxon or
Fenrau, Gar Saxon.
Fenrau and Gar Saxon was Wouldn't it be interesting if Christopher Lloyd was an older Gar Saxon? Because I don't think he was killed in the Clone Wars, but he was taken prisoner.
That's who it is with that's Gar Saxon is who you had that picture up of. That's who that was.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be. I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't die, did he?
Give me some of this, and then the two of these guys not face off, but have a argument because they're leading their own factions, right? You've got the Protector still going over here, and the Children of the Watch over here, and
yeah.
And they used to be
like
together.
Like Ernie
right there.
said, let's get all the clans. Let's get all the clans either united or
have one like the Protectors.
Drawing the lines.
The Protectors draw the line and go with the Imperials.
Yeah.
Because,
correct.
Yes, yeah. There's got to be. I mean, there might be a sect of Mandalorians that go the Empire's way, and like Chris was saying, like maybe become the Praetorian Guards that we see in the sequels, which would be amazing too. Again,
because that's got to come up somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening. So, yeah. So next week we're halfway done. We're halfway done with the series next week.
That's ridiculous. That's
it is,
stupid.
and some I saw a comment, someone from Twitch joining us too that we're streaming too, saying that they don't like the weekly episode drops, and give or take. I mean, I like the binge at the end, but I do like the short segments because what we do here and how we break things down. It gives us time to regroup, and like what Miss Sunflower was saying too in the chat was like, answering some questions, but then raising more questions. And that gives us time rather than the whole thing. And it's impossible to talk about the whole thing sometimes. It's like, there's just so many things that we're missing. So this gives us a little bit more meat and stuff to go on. So I do want to wind this down. But any last thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I'm ready for these next 5 episodes, man. Even Bad Batch, I think it's going to be really cool right now. We should get some answers. And then Ahsoka later this year is where I think that's where the big stuff happens. And April 7th, that first day of celebration, or second day of celebration, whatever
April
second day
7th.
is.
Yeah.
That's the Ahsoka panel.
Oh,
and
yes.
The Ahsoka panel is absolutely where I expect to see the entire cast. I'm honestly, at this point, I'm ready to see Freddie Prinze Jr. on that stage. That might be a surprise later, but I'm totally expecting a Force Ghost or him speaking through the wolf. This is gonna be a full Rebels cast. I'm in the middle of my 18th rewatch of freaking Rebels again, right?
Oh, I know.
I am
too.
I'm like, you know what? If you don't have Freddie Prinze Jr. in here at all, it sucks because he's such a great Jedi. To not give him and an advocate for Star Wars, in general, it would be a horrible miss not to have him in there somewhere. Right, But I'm fully expecting a Thrawn. When does this show end?
Well, let's see here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not smart enough to be fast enough.
It looks like April 19th would be the last.
Perfect. So, celebration. They announce who Thrawn is. The next week, we see him on Mando. Timing is everything.
Yeah. So, someone asked the question. So, we have 3 episodes of The Bad Batch left and 5 episodes of Mandalorian Season 3 after that. And then Ahsoka is rumored to be summer of this year, but that's a rumor. But we're expecting a trailer come Celebration 2. I mean, it's the time. It's close.
It's going to be at the very least a teaser.
And that trailer will have Thrawn in there and everything. Yes.
I showed you guys that. All I want is that little vision of his eyes over something, right? Just eyes in space. Hey, did you guys show him the leak of Grogu? Do you have that picture to put up?
I don't have that picture. Oh, man. You're going to have to save it for next week. But yeah, guys, let's wind down. This was great. Of course, it never ceases to amaze when we do a 2-hour show. Welcome back, Ernie. Everybody in the pit, thank you very much for sticking through this. And guys, this is great to just kind of talk Star Wars. So I won't be here next week. You guys got these guys to handle it and take it off and try to run the show and do the best they can.
What do you mean try?
They're gonna try to do the best they can, Pit. Look,
wow.
I'm talking to the pit right now. Okay.
Oh wow.
They're gonna try. So anyway, I'll miss you guys. I will try my best to be in the chat at least. But
hey, Chris, could you get that vibroblade? It's stuck in my back right there. If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great.
I don't want to get anything vibrating out of your backside. You grab it.
I should have said, hey guys, don't listen to this. All right. All right, but I'm gonna kick it off to Ernie since he's been gone this whole time. So Ernie, I know you missed doing this. You want to take us out? And again, thank you everybody. So
yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Same time, same channel as always on the Red 5 Network. We will be here definitely. And if you're just joining us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all, and go back and don't forget all of the old content that we have. We have constant content going up on that channel, especially those of you who join us just every week. Be sure and go check out all that stuff on all our other different socials. We have reviews and lots of other stuff, and it's all there. Tonight's program was sponsored by Tashi Station Emporium. Tons of stuff going on at Tashi Station over there.
Yeah.
Please go follow on Instagram and see all of the newest stuff that is up there. Everything that is available now, from Masters of the Universe to Turtles to G.I. Joe to Star Wars. Might be able to find something over there if you collect those that you like. Not only that, but everything NECA. It has to do with figure stands, stuff to make your displays a lot better, improve your toy photography, and much, much more. So go visit Tashi Station Emporium right now. Use the word Sarlacc Digest for 10% off your order. Wait, is that right?
That's it. Your entire
there you
order, 10% off.
Your entire order. Yes.
Dropping stuff. I'm dropping more stuff, and I've got some really, 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 really exciting things coming out that I want to do, and it's going to coincide with the Indiana Jones releases too. So, yeah,
boulders. Look
some
out!
real.
Ooh.
I'm calling it the Adventure stands, just like the Adventure series. So,
I did find
really
my first
cool-
Indiana Jones figures yesterday, so they're
it's
starting
coming.
to hit
It's coming.
everybody.
Oh, they were in the store.
Well,
Yeah.
the retro carded ones, yeah.
Retro carded ones. I got them at Target.
Oh, the three quarter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, dude.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm full steam ahead, man. I'm not looking back anymore. So so
Yeah,
appreciate
you've been
it.
pushing it and plugging it. And so if you wondering how you can help support without doing the Patreon or just hitting that thumbs up, share. Sharing is like the biggest thing that you can do for us, is put it out there.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Absolutely.
Share it to your stories, this episode, Tashi Station Emporium, put everything out there and just share it. All you got to do is hit that little arrow that looks like an airplane and you're done on any of the posts. I mean, that's all you got to do. Go out there and share it, and we appreciate it. But if you feel so inclined, please help us by contributing to our Patreon. There are some more Transformers that I need. So I pre-ordered.
He emailed us a list today.
Yeah, and I'll show you all these cool ones tomorrow. But yeah, check us out on all our different social. They're all up right now on the screen. Secretly knows something and he's not telling. That is a fact. That is.
I seen it.
That is definitely a fact. Yes,
I seen some stuff.
Lots to come.
All right.
Yes, the Artist Scott Solo, Tashi Station Emporium, I Know Something, and it definitely is your mama's favorite podcaster.
Damn straight.
Right.
It is. Yes.
She calls me a lot.
Yeah.
Telling me.
Wow.
Yeah. He has to hang up on her.
To everybody.
So,
Whoever your mom is.
In general.
Yeah, and your is like a all-inclusive. I
It's all out there.
I don't
Awesome,
discriminate. It's all your
For
mamas.
sure. But check us out for the 24/7 Star Wars Tack on Facebook with Star Wars. Our Sarlacc Digest Central. Sorry.
Yes.
Don't forget TikTok, all our toy reviews, Twitter and Instagram, and like that. There's plenty up there, Scott.
I've been on a break, but I'm trying.
There. There's
all the-
plenty. They have no idea that it's not there.
It just takes,
plenty.
it's just plenty to
Yeah.
go through. Let's comb through that shit, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
There's lots
For
of
real.
stuff.
Exactly.
Get the
Exactly.
views up. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we
Yeah.
will see you next week.
And
Marco,
with
though.
that,
He
Scott.
doesn't love you.
Keep it nerdy, everybody. And
Hey, we didn't talk about Ray Park's meltdown.
Oh, we gotta see that for.
I mean, that's all we have to say. That's
Wow.
it. Again,
We
Look
don't
up
even
Ray
need to do
Park's
this
meltdown.
anymore.
We'll just Wampa stomp that like.
Oh!
Yeah.
Everybody's gone by now. Oops.
I know, right? Boom. I put my Wampa away. Dang it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate it. All right, for reals this time. Thank you.
keep it
everybody.
nerdy, everybody.
Oh, look at girl.
Hey.